Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at the Eden Prairie Community Center as Bart is rattling our ears. Late to the dance. Welcome. High school hockey right here live at the mnhockey.tv. It's the Eden Prairie Eagles and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets.
Well, it should be a good one, Pete Wagner. The Cadets 3-1, coming off a 3-game win streak. Dropped the first one to Minnetonka 4-1. And Eden Prairie Eagles undefeated so far. They've only played one game, but it really promises to be a pretty good game, Pete. There's a lot of experience on both sides, not a lot of youngsters, plenty of varsity experience coming at you from both rosters. Both teams are very well coached. Both teams are going to try to establish a pretty quick pace, but I think the key for the Cadets is just get on this Eden Prairie team early. Eden Prairie is going to come out in front of their home fans with a lot of energy. And if St. Thomas Academy can navigate their way through the first 5 to 7 minutes, they should be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, they are going to come out with some energy. And, you know, one of the things I asked Lee Smith at the start of this game is, how do you feel about this team? He goes, well, it's a nice start. You know, we picked up that win against a good Cretin-Durham Hall team. And I think we'll learn a little bit more what we're made of here tonight. This is a very good St. Thomas Academy cadet team. You know, they had just the one blemish on the season to the Minnetonka Skippers, who, you know, right now I did the Goldies podcast today that you can see here on the mnhockey.tv, and you know, he's very casual in his approach, but yet very happy with what he has in his team. And you know, for the Cadets, they had a nice sectional win against a very good Eastview team by a score of 3-0 earlier in the season. And you know, they got the likes of Ray Christie coming back to lead the way for them, and feels like I've been calling his name for about the last decade. You know, and he's just he's been such a stalwart and a great performer here for the Vanellis and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets.
Yeah, they have a lot of players littered up and on their roster with a lot of experience as well. And Nico Vega, number 9, is going to be a player of focus again for our fans wanting to see a good hockey player, but also a focus for the Eden Prairie Eagle squad. One thing St. Thomas is not shy about doing is getting to the net. They're very good at going to the net, so Eden Prairie is going to have to defend. But this Eden Prairie team, that 3-1 win over Cretin-Durham Hall was pretty significant in my eyes. They outshot Cretin-Durham Hall in the first period 14-9, second period 15-9. And Cretin-Durham Hall is a rated team, a very good team moving forward. In them trying to attempt a pushback, the Raiders trying to attempt a pushback on the Eagles, they only outshot Eden Prairie by 10-9. So Eden Prairie pretty good at playing a sound and responsible game with the lead. So that bodes well going into this one. They have a little momentum coming in, but you know, a number 6 against a number 8, something's got to give tonight. But it promises to be a really entertaining contest.
It will for sure prove to be just that. I'd like to remind you that tonight's production presented in part by Green Mill, located on Commonwealth Drive in lovely Eden Prairie, Minnesota. They have changed things over. We're going to see a nice little infomercial on them between periods. They've gone from less of a pizza-type style restaurant to family sports bar type of setup there. Tradition Companies, you can check them out at traditionco.com. Shirts Unlimited, your official warm-up jersey provider, and other things related to this Eden Prairie team. They have all of the sponsors listed on there. Tavern 4 and 5 is conveniently located on
4 and 5.
Wagner Way.
Wagner Way.
On the corner of 4 and 5.
Oh, wow.
How do you like that?
I like it.
That's always the pregame place here for Eden Prairie fans and those of you that are coming here. Also, Walzer Toyota, car buying made easy, negotiation free, non-commissioned sales, returns, and exchange. Tria, they got Zach Parisi back on the ice. Be sure to check them out at Tria, the physicians for the Wild.
Yeah, and he's playing some very sound hockey.
He is, and he's critical to this team's surge. Although they are in the midst of that 3-game skid right now.
Yeah, well, they'll work their way out of it. But Minnesota sports franchises, aside from the Wolves, which is a little unusual, are struggling a little bit. Just a little inconsistency, but I'm sure that both coaches are going to get their teams figured out and make a nice push and run for the playoffs.
The Cadets have outscored their opponents now by a 15-9 margin here on this campaign so far. They've got a power play that comes in at 18.2%, and they're killing penalties at a very sturdy and impressive 92.3. Got to give them credit there. I said Ray Christie, Rob Christie, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points on the season. Don't forget about Brendan McFadden and Jackson Hallam. They have a number of players with 4 points or more, from Ryan O'Neill to Nico Vega joining that group of players as well. 3 in a row for them with Cloquet-Esco Carleton win 5-3. They defeated Eastview 3-0 and then handled Farmington at the Schmitz-Mackey Ice Arena in Farmington by a score of 6-2. Their next game coming up will be at Holy Family Catholic this upcoming Saturday. For Eden Prairie, only one game in the schedule so far, and that was their win the other day. That one against Cretin-Derham Hall on Saturday by a score of 3-1. Now they'll be heading up north. Very excited for this. The North-South Classic, the Essentia Health Sports Center in Brain. They'll be taking on Hermantown Friday, Brainerd on Saturday. You and I were privy to that last year here, as we are the voice of Eden Prairie hockey. We'll be the voice of Benilde St. Margaret's hockey as well. We are this year and next year. And we'll be doing all of the North-South Classic from the Rec Center. You ready for that?
Yeah, I'm ready. Just point me in the direction and let me go. But getting back to that victory for the Eden Prairie Eagles over Cretin-Derham Hall, there were 3 points from the defensive blue line, and 2 were from Luke Middlestad and the other one from Keegan Langfell, so they are getting play offensive production from their back line. It's something they didn't really get a whole bunch last year, but there were a lot of questions last year that I don't think got answered, but I think this team is poised to answer those questions going into this year. There's a lot of experience and a lot of varsity experience on this Eden Prairie team, and there's certainly some varsity experience on the cadets. It just promises to be a really good pace and a fun, entertaining game for your viewing pleasure.
Lee Smith really likes where this Eden Prairie team is at this year. He's comfortable. It's going to be Bullis who's going to get the start in goal for his team. And he played some games for them last year. Of course, Ben Bullis. Did I hear "O Canada" for a minute there?
They're just getting warmed up for the anthem. Yeah, but Bullis, I think, played, had his hand in 5 different games, so he has some varsity experience, but only 1 goal against so far this year against Cretin-Derham Hall, and he made the saves when he needed to make the saves. But it was a very sound effort by Eden Prairie to go into and play a very good Cretin-Derham Hall team. So good things to look forward to for this Eden Prairie squad if you're an Eden Prairie faithful, but St. Thomas is always a tough draw.
We're going to get ready for the starting lineups. The Eagles taking a page out of the Hornets hat here, Bart, in the intros, as the starting lineup only going NHL with a bench. Very nice. It's starting to catch fire here in high school hockey.
The trend has started.
Hornets been doing that since the 80s.
Yeah. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Starting at goal is going to be Muzzy Donahue. Thomas Wingus will be one of your defensemen. And the other defenseman is going to be number 3, Carter Henry. The left wing will be number 22, Luke Herzog. And number 21, Brendan McFadden. And the center is one of the captains, number 11, Rob Christie.
Well, that's a cumulative total of about 12 points between them. But it's a line that Eden Prairie is going to have to pay particular attention when they're on the ice. But this cadet team has some depth as well.
Co-coaches Tom and Greg Pinelli. For the Eagles in goal, it's going to be Ben Bullis for his 1-0 edition. On the blue line, it's going to be the big Luke Middlestat wearing sweater number 27. Keegan Langfells will be one of the defensemen. He's a captain of this team. Up on one of the wings is going to be Carter Batchelor. And number 19, Jack Jensen on right wing. And at center will be number 9, John Middlestat.
I think this is going to be a big year for Jack Jensen. And then you have the 2 Middlestats also, and Spencer Rudrud in this. So they got some players that can put the puck in the net.
We'll pause now for your national anthem. our 26th event of this young season so far here at the MNHockey.tv, so you better check out our schedule page because they're coming fast and furious. Coming up on Thursday, we're going to be at the St. Louis Park Rec Center where the #1 ranked Minnetonka Skippers will be taking on their rival from crosstown. I say that because they had a good game last year at the Pagel Activity Center, the St. Louis Park Orioles. And then on Saturday, we will have a couple more games for you. It's going to be girls action coming at you from Braemar Arena. Edina will be taking on Grand Rapids Greenway, and then it will be Minnetonka facing off against Duluth Marshall.
A lot of activities to look forward to. P. Wagner is all around town making things happen.
Well, it's not like you're not.
Well, still, but you're the driving force behind this. I appreciate being here. It's always fun to see good programs. You always have a tendency to pick some pretty good games, and so far we haven't been let down whatsoever. But this one, I've been looking forward to this one all day. Love coming to the community center and seeing Eden Prairie.
You're never going to be cold, that much you know.
Yeah,
right.
I'm going to have to start shedding some later.
Well, I went with the vest and sleeves only.
I saw that, very stylish. But Eden Prairie has good representation from their faithful, and St. Thomas looks like they travel pretty well. Should add some nice atmosphere.
Face-off will be taken by John Middlestedt. He'll go in against Rob Christie. Christie with 3 markers on the season. John Middlestedt, crafty playmaking center iceman, pushed ahead with the hand there by Luke Middlestedt. He'll take it to the corner, look for Langfeld, but there's the forecheck. On it now, it's going to be Herzog. He's checked. John Middlestedt helps out Langfelds. McFadden is there. That hops away from him. Now to the corner. It's going to be Herzog with it. Looks to play back in behind for Rob Christie. Christie's checked on the play. Langfelds quickly ahead to John Middlestedt. Slashed out of his hand. And there it is. It's going to be a power play coming up for the Eagles once they make possession and contact there. Get a look at this on replay here, Bart.
Yeah, in fact, I think it's going to be Luke Herzog, senior forward, that he got his money's worth on that one. Stick comes out of the hand. Middlestedt tried to play a little soccer on that, but if we can continue that, Jack Jensen got a bit of a contact from Rob Christie, and they exchanged some pleasantries, but it's going to be an Eden Prairie power play.
As I like to
early
say,
in this
Bart
game.
Archer, the old how's she going?
Yeah, let them know you're there. But over 4 so far on the season. Looking to improve on that. The penalty kill, as you said, 92.3. Very stingy penalty killers for this cadet squad.
Baudette to the line. That's Rudrud playing the point on the power play. To the left wing side it goes for Batchelder. And now it's going to be the Cadets to find an opening, and they send it the length of the ice. Back to retreat will be Luke Middlestedt. He'll swing it to the left side. No pausing here. They're going to rush right out of the zone. He's going to leave off. Here comes Jensen. He can skate. Looks inside out. Off the feet to the corner. Jensen stood up on the play by Shimmick. And now to the wall. It's played back down. Off the glove of Baudette. He's bothered on the play now by John Middlestedt. And to the corner it goes. It's going to be Shimmick. Tries to play that one out. Gathered in neatly there by Hallam. That one off the mark. Rudrud down off the end boards. Now for the Eagles, it's Batchelder. They'll play this one rinked wide. On the tape for Luke Middlestedt. Luke Middlestedt with it. And now up high to the line it goes. It'll be the Eagles. Game's about adjustments. There's a shot in on goal. And John Middlestedt with a nice bid. Muzzy Donahue makes the save.
Yeah, Donahue got called on a couple of times. It was Jensen on a misplay in the St. Thomas zone. Got a pretty good look at Donahue, but that one was a pretty good follow-up by Middlestedt. Nice save, held on to the rebound, face-off to his right. Just 50 seconds left in the penalty to Herzog, but Eden Prairie with some good zone time, and they've actually got some shots in, forced the goaltender to make a couple saves.
Glass and out go the Cadets. Back into the Eagles zone it goes. It's going to be Pager, Sam Pager with it now. From the right wing side, better hurry because here comes Rob Christie. They'll angle this one on the stick for Garrett Smith. Stopped and turned up ice. They can skate. This Cadets team has got the Jets. Christie to the outside. Ooh, nice save there by Bullis. Gets the pad out on the shorty of the bid. 23 to go in the power play. Stopped at the boards was Sam Wilhite. Gathered in by Christie. Around the boards he goes. The Eagles will have Holt, who plays after the corner, and rung the boards by Thomas Wingus. And the length of the ice it goes as Bullis will set up. That'll pretty much do it for the power play with 5 to go in it, as the Eagles with one freebie out of the zone. Pager outlets, now back up through center. Rolls up on the stick of Holt and in on goal, and that's going to be covered up by the goaltender Muzzy Donahue.
Well, you can't let your emotions run amok after the whistle. A little pushing and shoving, not a big deal. They're just going to break it up, but you don't want to expend too much of your energy in situations that aren't going to benefit your team. But it was a nice play by Rob Christie, shorthanded, got some speed in his zone, went up the right side. But it was Pager who took a really good angle, skated with him stride for stride, forced him to the outside. He tried to tuck it long side, but Blues did a nice job of thwarting that effort. But even if St. Thomas is a man down, you still have to mind your defensive responsibilities. But pretty good power play by the Eden Prairie Eagles, and a successful one by St. Thomas, keeping Eden Prairie off the board.
Face-off win by the Cadets. They'll clear but not out. To the corner it goes. Jensen protects the puck. He's watched by Shimmick. And now it's going to be the Cadets back out of the zone on it with O'Brien. He'll find a man right up the middle. That's Soderling, and just offside at the line. Eagles disrupt and deny entry.
Well, it was a nice challenge by Clayton Schultz. Used that the blue line as a natural line of defense. A couple Cadets snuck in a stride or two early, but if Eden Prairie can challenge and really stop their forward progress at the blue line, they're going to have a good chance for success, but the forwards are going to have to come back and play defensively responsible. But with a Lee Smith coach team, that's not very unusual. They're very good defensively and very sound.
Set and turn back in. Now it's going to be the Eagles. Schultz with it on the stick for Lillejord, as he'll bound that one in. Nice job of the stick by Donahue to play that off to the left as the defense with Bodette. So far, the Eagles, if you're Matt, sure you have the 2-minute power play, Bart, but 13:44 to go in this. So far, the Eagles have had the majority of the offensive zone time here in this one.
Well, that's the nice part about power plays, is you can kind of get some space, you can get some freedom, and not necessarily relax, but you can control the puck and kind of get a good feel for the game a little bit ahead of the people that are chasing the play.
Argetsinger back behind now. It's going to be taken away off the stick. That's going to be Hallam with it. He's jammed on the play. They'll get that one away from the oncoming Nico Vega, and the Eagles look to center ice, picked off on the stick of Bodette, as now across the line it goes. Back again comes Bodette. Fans on that as he throws it back onto a Eagles stick. Argetsinger turns that to the near side for Pager. Batted out of the air. Nifty job with the twig by Wilhite. Lets it go on net. Who else going to the net but Garrett Smith? He is not shy, Bart.
No, he gets into those muddy areas and he really creates some fits for the defenseman. But it was a pretty good play by Wilhite on that one. A good quick shot on goal, but showed some speed. He's one of those crafty returning players that's going to certainly contribute to this Eagle squad moving forward.
Rudrud will take the drop, goes in against Hallam. It's the Eagles with the face-off. They'll carry back in behind the net. On it was Sam Wilhite. He's going to have two Cadets bothering him out of the corner. Wilhite somehow out of the phone booth. Actually, that's Rudrud now, rather, as he'll play it back for Wilhite. Great, you got a 7 and a 17 when you go to the sleeve numbers. Good luck with that. Now Vega stopped in the neutral zone. Vega again gathers in the loose change across the line. Stopped neatly there by the stick of Langfells, and back into the neutral zone it goes.
Well, again, another good challenge by the Eden defenseman.
At the line. There's now Langfelds with the pick off. Nice pass on the tape. Oh, nifty backdoor. Oh, they had a chance there. One pass too many. Now Smith. There's a shot. They score! Oh, what a goal there.
Wow, it was a really nice sequence by Eden Prairie. You said one pass too many. I thought it was a good play. Just put it into his blades, but they maintained possession. Got it back out to Luke Middlestat. We'll take a look at it on replay. Just a nice snipe. I think he went short side, and it was Donahue that didn't give much to shoot at.
Baby.
Right, but that's got to give Eden Prairie some life. But they did a nice job in that sequence to possess the puck and really turn the Cadets defensemen around and created some opportunities. And they made the most of it. 12-18 left in the first period. Eden Prairie gets the first tally on the board.
John Middlestat gathers in the puck and throws it up over the bench area for his brother Luke.
First high school goal, I believe.
He clearly knew what to do with it.
He did. They were waiting for that. It only took 2 games.
He's a big kid. He's got some thickness to him. Back in behind, Langfells with it. Rings it hard around the wall. Boy, I'm looking forward to seeing this Eagle team match up against Edina at the Holiday Classic. That's Saturday night. Boy, is that going to be a good one.
Well, and I think Grand Rapids and Elk River are going to provide some entertainment as well. It's one of my favorite tournaments, obviously, but when Eden Prairie's a formidable squad, it makes the tournament even better.
They've got balance up and down the lineup here, without a question.
Well, and just the brand that they play. They have a little aggression, but not too much. They can control the puck. They can play the half-court game. They can score off the rush. There's a lot of things that the Eden Prairie team can do this year that they weren't able to do last year or was unsuccessful doing last year.
11:46 to go here in the first period. 1-0 in favor of the Eagles. Christie will face off against John Middlestat. as the Eagles center gets the draw, plays for A.J. Horton behind the net, up to the left wing side. Down on the play is Carter Henry, the defenseman, to pinch. And now McFadden comes away with it. He's checked. The Eagles will hang on to it with Middlestat now. John Middlestat has Jensen with him. Across the line, inside out, nifty play to the corner. Cycles it back, looks for Jensen. Misfired there, pinching on the wall, and they'll play it to the right wing side. Out of the zone they go with McFadden. McFadden gets away from a Jensen check. Puck is gathered up. Ooh, nobody home. There's a blocker pad save. Jensen comes away with it from the right wing. Nice decision there to play to center. Now on the stick for Holt. Across the line, stopped by the defense as it's going to be the Cadets. Shimmick, they play this back up into the center ice area for Holt. He'll play to his partner Horton. Left wing side, nobody home. Onto the stick of Bjorn Klein. Now off the wall, it's going to be O'Brien. The left-handed shot on the off wing. The center iceman tried to drift his way through traffic. Instead, it's poked to center and back on the stick for Shimmick across the line. Shimmick loads up and a nice save. Bullis steered back in behind the net. Horton now plays up to the left wing wall. That's going to be picked up. Look out. Back on the stick of the Cadets. Turning away from traffic is O'Brien. This team skates so well. Now it's handled by Killen. Killen was there as he was checked on the play. And now they'll walk the line. Look out. Bullis from post to post. Nice job to get a stick engaged on that one, Bart Archer.
Yeah, indeed, but St. Thomas seems to have found a little offensive mojo going on right now. There was a puck down low. In fact, they had two players in front of the net, really unattended to, but the puck danced on them. But Eden Prairie doing a good job of supporting the puck in their own zone and getting it to some areas of comfort, but St. Thomas just keep turning it back. A couple good saves by Bullis keep the Cadets off the scoreboard.
Redrude, the face-off. Eagles have been good in the squared circle here so far. Oh, look out. Oh, my word. Scrape yourself up. It's humbling.
Slow to get
now
up.
Across the line is Redrude. Got to adjust the helmet. He's been concussed.
Yeah, the only thing bruises his ego on that one. He's going to be okay, though.
Of course, we're talking about the official that bit it hard.
We're just having some fun with him, that's all. Did you get that one on replay? No.
I was going to.
We'll show that.
I let it go.
Yeah, we'll just have it roll over. But again, another nice save by Donahue. Face off to his right. Even 10 minutes to go in this first period. Eden Prairie up by 1.
Eagles now back in behind the net. Ooh, they look to the slot area. Rudrud hurt much of last year. It's nice to see him come into the campaign for the Eagles healthy and ready to go.
Well, already had a goal in the first game as well, so he jumped on the score sheet. Took a couple penalties, but probably just from enthusiasm and ready to get going.
No ice on the play as it's going to be back in behind the net. Cadets will control. They'll look up ice. Nice job to get away from traffic there. Pager finds his man. Rudrud across the line. Shot! Ooh, a good one on goal by Wilhite. Turned aside by Donahue. Quick stick by the goaltender. O'Neill with it. To the right wing now for Hallam. Rink wide back for O'Neill, gathers it in, walks up high. Ooh, nice job to get open. Baudette's shot blocked. That's giving it up there. That was Smith on the block. There's a shot again blocked by Smith, and now it's Rudrud. Calm play to center as the puck will rattle back into Cadet territory with 8:56 to go in a sizzling period number 1. Icing will be your call back down into Cadet territory.
Yeah, I want to back it up a little bit, Pete, but McLean Baudette, number 5 in the blue, had a good opportunity out front. Opted to kind of corral the puck back and go on the forehand. If he would have just gone with the backhand and it found the net, plenty of support down there. So he gave them, Eden Prairie, a chance to reset, and they thwarted what would have been a good opportunity.
Here come the Cadets off the face-off to center ice, stopped by the Eagles. Batchelder was there. And now it's played behind. That was Herzog. Finds the defenseman, Baudette. Left wing side for Shimmick, the defenseman. Rink wide. He looked for McFadden. And the Cadets and the Eagles jostle for the loose change. Near boards. You see it right there. Todd Grover, cameraman extraordinaire. Oh, nice save. Bullis controlled the angle well. Didn't bail on the post. Shimmick again. Has a man at the line. Christie, they play this one in deep. Now the Eagles, Luke Middlestad, the game's lone goal scorer, back behind the net. From the line, that shot in on goal. Bullis calmly sees it, right into the glove.
Well, one thing that we can see Eden Prairie's doing is they're turning up the physical game. Langfels did a good job of winning the battle in his own zone along the wall, chipped the puck out of play, but then came up with a big hit at the blue line to stop the forward progress. And again, more physicality with purpose from this Eden Prairie squad is starting to put the Cadets' heads on a swivel a little bit.
Look out, Joe Caju's dialing in with tonight's hockey trivia first period.
All right, Joe.
Coming. I hope he's watching us on his smart TV in high def. 8 megapixel product for you here. Like no other at the mnhockey.tv, except no substitutes. They can try all they want. Down the wall it goes. It's Killen with it. He's bothered on the play. Kresbach through traffic the length of the ice. No icing on the play. Holt from the corner for the Eagles. Nice jump out of the corner. Ooh, nice release. Bart Archer, watch this little catch and release here.
No, A.J.
Like
Horton.
A.J. Horton, watch
he
this.
He knew he didn't have a lot of time, but it was a good pass. It was
liked
right on the tape, but a good quick hands by A.J. Horton. Put a pretty good shot on goal, and I think it fooled Muzzy Donahue just a little bit, but there you see it. And look at him close very, very quickly. So St. Thomas is aware of how Eden Prairie likes to work the points into the offensive scheme, but Donahue did a nice job of covering that puck.
He really did. Ooh, this first trivia question is going to be a good one. It involves Lee Smith.
Joe never lets us down.
No, he's a great resource for us right here at the mnhockey.tv. Down goes an Eagle player. Oh, wow. A three-way crash, a collision on 394 and 169. Here come the Cadets now back through center ice. O'Neill, he can snipe. Nice save, Bullis.
Well, it was O'Neill coming in on the right side to try to draw Pager in, change the angle on that shot, try to go low glove side. But a nice job by Bullis. And there you can see coming up the wing. And it was just forcing him to the outside and just taking that shot. Watch him try to drag it, change the angle a little bit, try to go short side. But Bullis did a nice job of getting his pad in front of that face-off to his left. 50-51 left in the first period. Eden Prairie still holding on to a one-goal advantage, but St. Thomas is pressing.
Here's our viewer, Joe Caju's question. Ready? Lee Smith is around 500 wins now. Willard Eichel is at 616s. Who has the most wins as a coach in Minnesota? I know.
Okay. Well, you would think because of Joe that it would be Lee Smith with some kind of a.
It's Albert Lee's Roy Nystrom.
Oh, I thought it was between those two.
He has like 700 or 800 wins, something like that.
Well, I didn't know that
Glad to see he's got that on the smart TV.
I didn't know there were other people in the options.
And Mike Wurst says that Wurst is on board, and he says that Caju's watching in the massage chair. He's got one of those things that you see at the mall. You know those things that work it.
Why would you sit anywhere else?
Back in, well, when Wurst is there, you can't because he's in it. Now it's going to be Bodette with it, left wing side for Herzog. On the tape for McFadden as he had to spin and gather and play in deep. Horton steps up on the wall. Christie back into the corner. Herzog is there. Cut off on a nifty play by Schultz. Now it's back on a stick for Christie. Controls, look out, they're dangerous. Cadets have found their game in the offensive zone now. They've kind of turned the tide here after the first 5-6 minutes were in favor of the Eagles. Aided obviously by the power play, and they score shortly thereafter. Now here come the Cadets. Near side it goes for Bodette. Finds an opening back in the corner. Horton goes down. Jensen into the corner. Jammed on the play. Tried to fight that one off. That hits a player on the way in, and Christie. That's off a stick at center ice. And back up through the neutral zone it goes. Bodette.
Pete, you're right. St. Thomas had great zone time, but if you look at it, they really didn't get a shot on Bullis, so Eden Prairie playing very sound, challenging every move, but St. Thomas Academy certainly has their offensive game going.
Turned over. There's a shot saved by Bullis again. Back in behind the net. Jammed on the play. Nice defensive play by Pager, but the pressure continues. Bamer is there off the glass, and now stepping down is Killen. Bjorn Killen with it. He has a marker on the season so far for this cadet edition. Love the blue jerseys. They look sharp. Very Toronto Maple Leaf like.
I knew you were going to go there.
How do you let the Leafs, man? The most storied franchise, in my opinion, in pro sports. Have been useless as far as the Cups are concerned for recent, basically my lifetime. But hey,
66 was the last
time.
time.
Leafs, 67. There's a snapper that's wide of the mark. Let's get that straight, Bart Archer.
That year means something.
Well, it does. Now it's going to be the Cadets with it. to the left wing side for Killian in front of the bench area. He's going to angle it in. Another wave of forecheck comes in the form of the Cadets. The Eagles now to the right wing side. Kresbach off his stick. Vega, he nearly had his man, but Pager was calm in front of that. Right now, the Eagles are chasing this game in the defensive zone. The Cadets very comfortable in their offensive rhythm. Smith with it, leaves it behind. That puck didn't go where he wanted it to. They got to be careful. Turned over O'Neill with a chance. Now on the stick of Wilhite. Ahead to Smith. Garrett Smith from center shovels it in on goal. Donahue has Smith following that up, and that one's going to be handled and faced off to his left.
Well, you're right, and I don't think it's anything, any breakdowns in Eden Prairie. It's just St. Thomas turning up their game. But as you said, Eden Prairie starting to chase the play. But the puck's rolling on St. Thomas a little bit, and I think that they had a couple potential good opportunities, but they just can't get the puck on the stick to release the shot. But Eden Prairie is surviving a very trying moment right now, but looks like St. Thomas Academy's kind of found their groove.
It's Lauren Grosso that has it as opposed to Nystrom. There's a shot and rebound. Bullis with a pair of saves. Scores! 3 is a charm across the board. 3 shots. Finally, it's number 3, Carter Henry with a goal. We're tied at 1.
Yeah, the senior defenseman, Bullis, made a couple big saves, but it was Henry that got the puck all alone, walked it in, and just beat him on the glove side. I think there might have been some traffic in front of Bullis to his defense, but you could just sense something was ready to give, and St. Thomas gets rewarded for a lot of effort and a lot of hard work. But Eden Prairie, they're right back to the dot. I like the body language on it, but they defended quite well. But St. Thomas has a tendency to be able to put some pressure on the goaltender and beat the goaltender, and that's what they did on that one. We're not at 1, 3:34 left in this first period.
3:34 and a beauty here from the rec center. Back behind the net it goes. I'm getting some rave reviews of that Blake team that's playing over at Ridgefield Ice Arena right now on our other channel. I guess they're looking quite good.
That's not a huge surprise.
Herzog back behind the net, protects the puck. They pick up where they left off to the Cadets. Herzog again. That's off the stick of McFadden. Now to the corner it goes for Christie. He's going to have to fight off a check from the Eagles. 3:01 to go in the first period. Nice job to get out of trouble. Middlestat with it. Cross center ice. Nice job to cut to the slot area. Jensen shoots. Fought off there by Donahue, and he'll cover that one up. Jack Jensen with a nice bid. Yeah,
it was Luke Middlestat that gained the speed through the neutral zone, put it on Jensen's stick right as they entered the zone, and he cut across and tried to improve his angle, and he kind of got a little farther away than I think he wanted to, but that was because he was being contested by the Cadets. Put a pretty good shot on goal, rolled on Donahue a little bit, but he put that waffle out there, dropped the stick, and covered that puck. But it's a good response by Eden Prairie. They needed to get something positive to get back on track.
Back into Eden Prairie territory goes. Schultz looks up to the neutral zone on the stick for John Middlestat. Now he finds Jensen. This is where Jensen likes to create. From the chuckered, he plays that one in. Penalty coming up back behind the play. That's going to go on the Eagles. Donahue's going to stay in the net. They want him to come to the bench. There he goes. Off the boards. Nice little pass behind the back there. Soderling found his man. Bodette, Soderling, shot, save, Bullis.
Well, just 2:06 left in this first period. Cadets on the power play, but I think Donahue did a pretty good thing by just making sure that the penalty was called, but it seemed like a bit of an incidental situation. Stick going for the puck, missed the puck, and I think the St. Thomas Academy sold that quite well. I'm not saying he embellished, but he just accentuated a little bit, got the referee's attention.
Saying, but you're saying.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying. Face off to blue and slap. A great opportunity for St. Thomas Academy.
Face off, went to the line. Bamer plays that, rink wide, gets it back. That from Wingus. Now it's O'Neill down low out of the corner. Hallam. O'Neill now to the corner. Hallam toes the line. Walks out. Far side. They had a man in front, Vega, but a stick was there to disrupt him by Schultz. Touch that puck back over the near wing again for Hallam. Wrist shot. Bullis the save. Rudbrud off the boards, but not out. 1:40 to go in the period. 1:33 in the man advantage. Left wing. Walking right side. That misses the mark for O'Neill. Guided to him by Wingus. Wingus gets it back behind the net. Now it's going to be Schultz. Wise idea there. Glass gets a stanchion break there as it caroms and works the length of the ice. Long pass by Donahue. To the right wing side it goes for O'Neill. He's bothered on the play by Langfels. Turns over. Wilhite. 1-on-4. He let that one go. Created something out of nothing, Bart Archer.
Yeah, that was a pretty good shot by Wilhite, but hit challenged by Carter Henry. But ramped that one up. It was a good blocker save by Donahue on that one. But pretty good opportunity, but you can just see the hustle on Will Hay right there. And then he'll cut because he's on the forehand, right-handed shot on the left, changes his angle, gets a better look at the goal. A good blocker saved by the goaltender.
He's looking to sniz short side shelf.
Absolutely. He almost had it too, but with all the zone time that St. Thomas had, they like to focus to the weak side. But again, Bullis had some good sight lines. They're doing a good job of letting him see the puck, and when he can see it, he can generally save it.
Henry went wide, under a minute to go in the period, 51 to go, and the man advantage back in behind. Look out, Bullis, nice job. Very calm back there for the Eagle goaltender.
Yeah.
Didn't freak out. Killian wide of the mark. Herzog, right wing side for Christie. Hash marks, he goes to the top of the circle, back into the corner. Walking out is Herzog, up high to the left point. Killian, wrister, that's a Suter-like wrister there. Not a lot of juice, but got it through. Purposeful. Back into the corner behind the net. There's a wrist shot, Bullis save, rebound. Oh, and that one misses the mark. Now it's going to be chased down by Christie. 18 in the man advantage. Christie, wrist shot. Oh, he hit his man on his way through. He had a pass, a seeing eye one for Henry, who was bidding for his second of the game. Instead, the Eagles with possession clear the ice. 13 to go in the period, 5 to go in the power play. That's going to do it for that. One last rush for the Cadets. They'll turn it over at the neutral zone, and that's going to do it pretty much for the period as the Eagles will throw it in across the line. Look at that. They have a chance. Back door. Oh, and Jensen nearly able to pull the trigger.
Well, that was a nice job by Carter Henry to go down on the ice and really take the opportunity for a shot, so he tried to drag it, but by then his greatest enemy was the time clock. But after one, it's 1-1. Been a very entertaining period. Look for the pace to continue, but St. Thomas seemed after the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes, they kind of found their offensive flow and started to take Eden Prairie a little bit out of their game. A bit of a reset for both coaches, but I think they have to be pretty happy with the effort that their teams gave during that first period. Should be a good second period, Pete.
Period number 1 in the books right now. Prairie High School hockey continues here from the Rec Center, and we're joined by Walzer Toyota's Doug Sprinthal. And once again, this store couldn't be any more beautiful, Doug. And you know, high school hockey's on the air. It's always a great day for that.
Yeah, it really is, and we're a big supporter of high school hockey. Andrew Walzer, one of the two brothers.
The two after the dots, and they get smaller, but he's just taking the big number and making that one smaller.
Yeah, that's right.
Andrew Walzer and I went to high school together.
Oh, you did?
He was 86, I was 85. Great guy, and it's been really amazing to watch how this whole organization has really grown in the Twin Cities. And you guys have, I think, some great sales strategies that are working.
We really do, and not to sound like this is the Andrew Walzer show, but he was the guy that started it, 17 or 18 years ago. We used to be a negotiating dealership group just like everybody else. And Andrew was smart enough to see the future, I think, and the internet and what it was going to do to our business. And we went to a commission-free, non-negotiating sales strategy. The first couple of years were rough, but then once people figured out what we were trying to do, it's really, really popular. There's no more arm wrestling. We put the prices on the internet and on the cars so people really can spend their time doing what they should be doing, which is picking out the right car.
Well, what's really great to promote that concept is when you walk into this store, I see tons of round tables with 4 chairs and salespeople walking with iPads or Microsoft Surface. And it's one of those things where it's less combative, maybe. It's a little more open to being comfortable.
You notice that we're sitting in one of the, I think it's the only closed office on the show floor. And this is the general manager's office. This is where he counts the money. I'm just kidding. The sales managers sit usually kind of on the show floor with the salespeople. Because really, when they get managers involved in deals, it's about selection or maybe monthly payment, that sort of stuff. It's not trying to talk somebody into doing something they don't want to do. And it really fits well with Toyota's strategy as well. Toyota fits the sales strategy almost perfectly, I think.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, when the Walzers bought this store, we were, I think, dead last in the metro. It was over in Southtown. This is the 4th move in 20 years. And we're usually number 2 or number 3 in the whole north central region. That's Illinois, Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah. So we haven't hit number 1 yet, but we're sure trying. And it's been a huge improvement. Part of it's the facility, but I really think that the biggest thing is the experience people get here. It's so much better than it used to be.
So if I'm looking for a car and I'm looking to shop and I'm looking at a Toyota, what will my experience be from start to finish? I come in, I pick out my car, the financing process, and then how about the support on the back end with service and that?
That's really an interesting question. Usually the shopping starts on the internet, so we try to give as much information to customers before they even come in. And we find a lot of them make selection. You mentioned the finance process, and I'm glad you brought it up because I would have forgot about it. We eliminated the traditional finance office years ago because it was a bad customer experience. We sell a lot of cars here. Our store will sell, give or take, 7,000 cars out of this store every year. And even though we had good finance people, there was always a bottleneck, especially on Saturdays. So people would agree to buy a car and then wait for 4 or 5 hours. It was terrible. So we thought, let's develop a system where the salespeople can handle the whole finance transaction sitting with the customer. So if you find a car you like here and say yes, our goal is to get you out of here in 30 minutes or less. We don't always get there, but it's a really quick process. That doesn't mean that the selection process is 30 minutes. That can go on for
But that's
hours
up to you,
or
the
days.
buyer, too.
Right. But it's just, we're consumers too, and once we say we want something, we want it. So we've set that up to do that here.
Well, what's great about that is you take the variable out of the Saturday. Let's say you come at 4 o'clock and it closes at 6. It's a hard close, or someone does stick around. But you have to have someone come back on Monday, and then it becomes an elongated deal.
Here at 6:05 that wants to buy a car, we'll stay open.
Okay, well, good. Just making sure, so nobody's running out. So, but it's a totally different process, and it's very comfortable. It's welcoming. And you know what I always notice whenever I come in this store? It's busy. There's always people. There's ample people to help and serve the customers as well. I think that's a key component too. You don't have to stare around and wait for anybody to come assist you as well.
Yeah, that's true. We do lose people out on the lot. It's about 7 acres of cars out there, and sometimes in the summertime people wander around going, I'm going to get help, and occasionally they have to wander inside. We try to prevent that, but we're not always perfect.
And then finally, from a service perspective, what do you have going on here?
Well, the service operation, it's like the military back there because we've got 45 service bays, and we're open from early in the morning till late at night. And just the number of staff that it takes to manage that and call people back, because that's really what people want is quick answers. We do have shuttle services if you don't want to hang out and wait. The lounge actually is really nice. And we made a multi-$1,000 investment in coffee. So we don't have dealership coffee. It's actually stuff that you'd want to drink. So.
we welcome you back to the Eden Prairie Community Center, home of the Eden Prairie Eagles, where they are locked in a 1-1 tie with the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. The number 6 ranked Cadets of St. Thomas Academy enter this game at 3-1. And then the number 8 ranked Eden Prairie Eagles enter this one at 1. And a couple of goals in that period for you. The Eagles open up the scoring early on, and that was big Luke Middlestad, Bart, who went straight up top on a nice feed to him from the top of the left circle, the sophomore defenseman. I've heard lots about him, and the translation of the high school game's been quite good for him.
Yeah, in fact, the first game, 2 assists, and now he's got the tally out of the way, so good things to come for that young man. But it was kind of nice that John, his brother, grabbed the puck for a token, something to look back on with fond memories. But I have a feeling we're going to say Luke Middlestad's name a whole bunch this year as far as a positive influence on this. But it was Hunter Henry, or Carter Henry. Hunter Henry, boy, that brings us back a little bit. But the senior defenseman, Carter Henry, scored his first goal of the season as well, and that's where we sit right now. Second period, we got the long line changes. Always better to get off a little bit early than a little bit late. And with the pace of this game, you don't want to be trying to defend against either one of these teams with tired legs. So it's going to have to be a very responsible game, but the neutral zone is going to be a little bit congested. I think a little bit more from that than the first period. But St. Thomas seemed to find their stride about the 7-minute mark going in. And once they start getting that feel of getting to the net, they're very, very good at that. Eden Prairie did a pretty good job of pushing back. But again, they did score that 1 goal against Ben Boulis, the junior goaltender. But Boulis made a couple really big saves, as did Donahue. But I think Boulis...
what I do like about Boulis' game is that he's very quiet.
Yep.
And he doesn't bail on plays. A lot of goaltenders like to cheat off posts. He didn't see much of that, and the rebounds went where he wanted them to go.
No, in fact, Boulis plays a very honest game, but you're right, very calm. And I think that oozes into his psyche of his defensemen as well, because they didn't seem to get too excited back there. But I like the way the Eden Prairie forwards are coming back to support in the own zone. But sometimes their position gets a little bit skewed, but they're just trying to make plays. But they've done a pretty good job of keeping the St. Thomas team, this offensive attack, to 1 goal in that first period.
Carter Henry scored for the Cadets, the defenseman. Almost had a chance on the power play if it weren't for a puck that hit one of his own men on its way in. And we stand here at 1-0.
Yeah, that one hit Brendan McFadden. I think it kind of stung him a little bit. He didn't go off the ice, but yeah, that was a bit of a benefit for the Eden Prairie Eagle squad.
Jack Jensen gathers it in off the face-off, leaves to Langfels as they'll look to regroup back through to the Eagles. Off the boards, that gets back off the pass of Batchelder, and it's going to be back up into the neutral zone. Oh, they have a chance, but that's stopped there by Luke Middlestad. Clears off the boards. Wingus, his pass intercepted. Now Jensen collides with sticks with Batchelder, the sophomore.
Now, I don't know how they called offside when the puck never entered the zone, but it's going to be face-off outside the cadet zone. A little bit of too much traffic right there, a little miscommunication between Eden Prairie. Otherwise, they might have been able to turn up the numbers, but they will reset 16:30 early in the second period, not at 1.
Christie to draw against Rudrud. Christie the win. Wingus possession. Cadets across the line. That's the Eagles in control as they play it to the near side for Argensinger. Took it from Pager. We've been saying family name for quite some time here at Eden Prairie Hockey. Oh, nice little feed. Will Height looked for his man in front. And Rudrud, it misses the mark, and it's going to be O'Neill across the line. Poked off his stick. Hallam was there. He'll gather it in behind, albeit momentarily, as he's jammed by a pair of Eagles. Assistance on the way from Vega and Hallam. Now Rudrud wins the battle, fishes it out of there as he'll play it ahead for Will Height, who ran into a hipper there from Shimmick. Now to the right wing, Snapper O'Neill high and wide of the mark, off the boards, but not out. Shimmick was there to cut that one off. Oh, O'Neill, a shot and a save by Bullis. Nice job there by the goaltender. Calmly sliding over to make the play. He's just a junior, by the way. Up to the line. That rattles through the slot area. Now it's going to be handled up by Pager. In on goal. Donahue will make the save and guide it off to the right for Bodette. He finds his partner in Shimmick, left wing side. Chips that one high in the air on the flutter. The carom will be handled by Schultz. Up off the boards. Now through center. Nice job by John Middlestad. Looked to create. Lost the handle. And it's going to be turned back up ice by Christie. Christie behind the net. Low slot area. Nice job by Schultz to break that one up. Jensen from the corner. They play that one all the way down the length of the ice. Donahue forced to make the save, and here come the Eagles. A nice hustle there as a pair of Eagles were there. John Middlestead among others.
Yeah,
face off inside the zone.
Well, as you said, Middlestead and Batchelder did a nice job of hustling down there and really forced Donahue to cover that play because they did have numbers. But St. Thomas is doing a good job of stopping any forward progress by the Eagles through the neutral zone. But one thing that the St. Thomas has been very good at in the offensive zone is finding that weak side winger. He's got plenty of space and forcing Bullis to make a couple of really point-blank saves.
Jensen behind the net cycles for Middlestead, who runs into a check for Henry. And now there's a nice job by Batchelder, the sophomore. Try to work it down the boards, but up comes Bodette. He'll find Christie 3-on-2 across the line, and that one gets through everyone, and it's going to be sent to the corner. Schultz is there. Ahead he goes. Nobody there off the stick of Herzog, and here come the Cadets. This top unit's been solid. Jensen plays back in behind. Ripped around the boards by Schultz. Regrouped by the Cadets as they have possession up off the glass. Swung on by Henry. Sent right back in. Schultz from the corner. Eagles look to find the man out of the zone. That's off the stick of Batchelder in on goal. Donahue's had a couple of tricklers work their way in.
Well, I think it's the reason why he's covering the puck up is it just gives them a chance to kind of reset and regroup, and it really takes away the forward progress from Eden Prairie. Now, obviously, it's going to be an offensive zone face-off, but St. Thomas had pretty good luck in the dot so far in this game, and they're going to need some success here as it stands. But Eden Prairie getting on the goaltender, just not with possession.
Back behind the net, it's going to be the Eagles. Lillejord with it. Up to the line. Off the stick to center ice for Langfells. Misses the mark, and it's going to be Killian. Rink wide for Bamer. Away from Langfells, it's going to be Luke Middlestead with it. As he works it behind that, tries to cycle it off the boards, but there's Bullis to cover. Nice job by the goaltender there. O'Brien, wrist shot. That one ramps up.
Well, it was a good busy stick by Kreuzbach on that one because it just seems like St. Thomas is getting some looks. They're very, very skilled with their sticks as far as grabbing the puck off the sticks or really contesting, so to speak. But, a shot from the point, a chance for Bullis to actually get good sidelines, but a good busy stick. If they can get their sticks in front of these pucks, they might frustrate St. Thomas and force them into moving a little bit quicker than they wanted to.
Bullis has proven to be very sturdy here off the post. And
yeah,
that's the part where
impressive.
Young goaltenders, I mean, Young as a junior's not that young, but there's a nice chance. And on goal, Rudrud. Oh, he wanted high on Donahue. Nice blocker pad save there. Back into the corner it goes. Rudrud fights off the battle. Will Height, snapper. That one brought some rain up in the air. It goes off the glass. Now it's Smith back behind in front. Scores! Oh, what a setup there. High to low to the slot. It's 2-1 Eagles.
Well, and for Will Height, that's going to be his first goal, but nice work by Garrett Smith to see him out front. Drew the defender in and just a little backhand out front. And just in a one quick motion, it was Will Height that scored that goal. Just beat him very low on the ice. Donahue got bested on that one, 12:54. Eagles back to that one-goal advantage, but you can tell that it's a good team, so we'll push back, and I expect St. Thomas to do that. So it's up to Eden Prairie to weather the next 2 or 3 minutes from the pushback from this cadet squad, but nice goal by Eden Prairie.
So that was Will Height from Middlestead, correct? Did you get the second assist there, Bart?
I did not. It's Charlie Brown's teacher to me, Pete, but that's not his fault.
Or wax in the air is one or the other.
Not a chance.
From the right wing side, McFadden. Jeez. Herzog comes away with it. Look at this. Here they come. Numbers. Nice dish down low. Bullis. Oh, what a save rebound. That one rolls wide in the net off its posts.
And that's exactly the pushback that I was talking about. A lot of times when you take a good team and you kind of punch them in the nose, they come back with some focus, and that's what St. Thomas did. Look at the numbers down low. They're just flooding the zone, and they're all going to the net right now. But just great effort by Bullis once again to keep that puck out of the net and net off the mooring. So face off to Eden Prairie's right. 12:28 left in the second period. St. Thomas is pressing, but Eden Prairie holding on to that one-goal lead.
Yeomans-like effort, Todd Grover. Beautiful work on that camera. It's just fantastic. Back behind the net. McFadden. Now Rudrud. Henry. Rudrud gets inside on him. And the Eagles, again, having a nice start to this period, much like they did in period 1. Now can they sustain for the better part of 17 minutes, or will the Cadets ebb and flow this thing?
That's the challenge in front of them.
That's part of the game, too. As you like to say, the ebb and flow. Did he get a stick on that? He did not.
He did not. But now we're going to bring it down into the Eden Prairie zone, and as we said, Cadets have had pretty good success in the faceoff, Dot, and it'd be a great opportunity for them now to put some pressure on the Eden Prairie Eagles. But I like the demeanor of this Eden Prairie Eagles team. They don't seem to get too excited. They don't start chasing the play. They sometimes lose their structure a little bit, but that's just the course of what happens through the course of the game. But I'm really impressed with their positioning, with their physicality, and just the way they're moving the puck and defending as well. So a lot of good things come from the Eagles this year.
Target Singer high off the glass. Back in behind the net it goes for Holt. Pager, nifty little retreat there as he's bumped on the play by O'Brien. Now O'Brien wins the battle, comes away with it, but look out, nice busy stick by the Eagles. It's Little Jord with it. Too far for Holt, no ice on the play. Killian bothered on the play by Holt. A little help down low as well from Austin Kresbach. And that's going to be the Cadets back up out of the zone with Bamer. Angles from right to left, back in wide of Bullis it goes. Killen is there, up high to the line. That was Killian, and then now it's wide of the mark. Turning back to the near side as Bamer goes rink wide on the tape for O'Brien, off the end boards for Bamer again. He'll be content to play the boards to center. Pager chopped that one down, the bounding puck for Argetsinger. Tough one to handle there for the Eagle defense. They did a nice job to keep it. Jensen good at the line. Ooh, nice job there. He'll hang on to it. Kind of went phone booth with the stick handle back into the corner. Holt with it now. Looks back up for Jensen. Plays the body. Nice job there. Shot from long out from Argetsinger. Donahue the save. Oh, too many. They got lucky there. Delayed offside. Eagles now will forecheck back in. Ooh, they bring 3 deep. They're not messing around. Oh! How about that? Look at that. The neutral zone wide open. There's a shot that misses the mark. F1, F2, F3 in hard.
And they were all linear, too, so it was an easy first pass to get out of the zone. They're going to have to kind of take better angles on that.
Across the line, here they come. Ooh, they had a man open in front. It's going to be turned back up ice. Moving quickly is Bodette, the big frame defender across the line. Leaves for O'Neill. His shot's blocked. Nice job by Batchelder to play that one. Look out up in the stands.
Well, really nice play by McLean Bodette, the junior defenseman, to stop the forward progress on that. Eden Prairie had numbers coming down, but he turned the play back in transition, brought the play up, and again got it back into the Eden Prairie Eagles zone. Faceoff's going to be outside the zone, so initiated by St. Thomas.
This, friends, is a great hockey game. And
Absolutely.
Hopefully it's translating on your screen as it is here, because it's been really well played, high pace. Not a lot of time to think out there. These two teams are skating.
Well, and they're not rivals necessarily. They played twice last year. St. Thomas bested them by a goal in each game, but there's some emotion out there.
There's a lot of talent on both of these rosters.
A lot of pride as well.
And now it's Bodette to the right wing side for Vega in front of the bench area. Jammed by Smith as Vega will be spun and stays on it. Nice strength on that play by the Cadet forward. Long shot, pad save, Bullis, no problem. Turns the big pillow and fires it off to the right side.
Well, and look at where that rebound went, too. Nice job.
Nice job by Rudrud. Ooh, the kid read it like a book. Wilhite shoots, save. Nice one there. And who's going to the net once again? You know, Smith is sort of a version of Keith Acton for you old schoolers.
He is, but again, that was the right play. You play until the whistle, and goalie was trying to cover it, but he went after it. And they took a bit of exception, but, if you're a hockey player, you play to the whistle. If you don't get to play a whole bunch. But it's the right thing to do. But I think
Donahue would love him.
I'm sure a number of people probably would.
Or Giles.
Yeah, he would.
Right?
I agree. A little grit is never a bad thing at the forward position.
You go to the net.
Go to the muddy areas.
You go hard, you get dirty, and you pay the price.
I still remember
it's not pretty.
I still remember the OT goal he scored last year, boy.
Herzog. Up high in the air it goes. Off the boards to the line. Wingus. Left wing side for Herzog. Puck angles through the slot. Wingus backpedals in front of his net area. Finds Christie. Langfeld's nice veteran move there defensively. Luke Middlestedt will gather in back in behind his net. Boy, this kid has the look of a legit big-time defenseman here. The sophomore through center ice.
Boy,
4 cadets back. He'll chase in his own dump in and plays the body, but the cadets break it out of the zone. Henry played it for Christie. On the stick now of McFadden. He's watched by Langfels. Christie had it poked off his stick by Batchelder, and now it's going to clay up off the boards. Nice job by the Eagles, Batchelder, to play that alive, but still, it's possession for the cadets. Down low they go. There's a shot by Christie, blocked. Nobody could handle it. Bullis calmly to his right, turns that aside to the corner. Nice job up high to control that one for McFadden. They look in front. Nice defensive play there. That was swiped ahead there by the captain, Jensen. That's off the equipment of John Middlestat. He looked up for Jensen to the right wing side. Middlestat misses Jensen. There's a shot. Ooh, that hits something or someone on the way in. Played in at the line. This line has gotten a little bottled up here for the Eagles here in the defensive zone from time to time. Calming down the coverage quite nicely here. Back in behind. Christie jammed on the play by Langfels, and a whistle. With 7:26 to go in a fast-moving game here, it's period number 2.
Yeah, in fact, that last shift, a nice sequence of possession by St. Thomas Academy. It just seemed like they were taking Eden Prairie out of their positioning and really getting them to chase the play. So this St. Thomas team is very good at spreading the ice out, getting the puck to the open man, and forcing you to make plays, but they create their own space and they get good looks. But I really like the way Eden Prairie's getting in front of the net and supporting their goaltender.
Well, I'm not that way.
Huh?
I was just quoting the song from You Got That Right.
Okay. Little Skinner
Skinner
for you, right?
Absolutely. What a great show that was recently. Classic. That's center. Rudrud with Met Center. Was talking the 1975.
Right. The cobwebs have been cleared from my brain.
Rudrud with it. Behind the net. Smith now. No, actually the one that was at the XL Energy Center was amazing. For the slot area, Rudrud tried to go short side, and that was covered up by Donahue.
Well, looks like now it's Eden Prairie's turn to get some offensive zone time. These two, it's like two heavyweight fighters just trade and punch, as St. Thomas had some effect last round, so to speak. Now it's Eden Prairie's turn, offensive zone phase up. We're a couple ticks under 7 minutes in the second period. Eden Prairie holding on to a 1-goal advantage, but again, St. Thomas is getting their looks, but Bullis has done a really good job of keeping the score where it is.
He has indeed done just that. Controlled by the Eagles of Eden Prairie. Pager. Jensen, nice pass. In front they go, and it's a big save made. Once again, Willa Jord with a chance. A save made by Donahue. They whistle that one to the slot area. Jensen is there, comes away with it. This is his office. He loves the end boards. Rides off a check, tried to muscle it toward the slot area. He stays on it. The big man down low gets it back. Oh, that one goes just wide. Great looks there by Jack Jensen. Back up the ice it goes. That one's sent in by Killen and icing the call.
Well, him and Jensen were kind of exchanging some pleasantries in front, but it just seemed like that puck was magnetized toward Jensen's stick. There's a lot of traffic being contested, but he just managed to maintain control. Actually got a pretty good shot on Donahue, but just sailed wide. But Eden Prairie starting to get the cadets back on their heels a little bit. If you can keep the cadets in their zone, it's really pretty hard for the cadets to score any goals. So Eden Prairie doing a nice job on possession.
The old one, there's a will, there's a way. Don't forget tonight's coverage presented by Green Mill Tradition Companies, Shirts Unlimited, Tavern 4 and 5, Walzer Toyota in Bloomington, and Tria. Nice job, John Middlestat walks away from his man. Oh, and a nice save, Donahue. Pads down there. Snapper. Oh, and they caught the stick, not even the blocker there. Now it's Schultz, shots blocked. Back up to the line, Horton. Rattles one over for Schultz. Try to settle it down to the corner. It continues to wobble. It'll be the cadets to alleviate. This has been a good period. I mean, the cadets have had their moments here in this period, but a much better response, I think, for the Eagles.
No, in fact, after the Eagles scored that goal, you expect the pushback from a good team, and that's exactly what St. Thomas did. Within 20 seconds, they came down and put some heat on the Eden Prairie goaltender, and then they've been exchanging blows, but we kind of expected that coming into it. When you get two good teams, not one is going to really establish too much territorial domination, but they've, like I said, they've been exchanging possession and good sequences by both teams. They both came to play.
By Langfelds. Now Smith tried to play that deep right in front of the bench here. You could hear that one rattle yourself. Joe Cagey was woken up in his massage chair in lovely Edina, Minnesota. Now it's going to be Smith with it. In on goal, steered up off the netting. That by Donahue.
Yeah, it was Garrett Smith that took that shot, being contested at the blue line. So, again, a good defense by the Cadets. Natural line of defense. Got a pretty good shot off, but Donahue just ramped it up and out of play. So, face-off once again to his right. Eden Prairie having a little bit more success in the face-off, Dodd. Good opportunity right now to continue to put heat on Donahue. Just 5:10 left in the second period.
Face-off win by the Cadets. It's going to be McFadden stopped at center. Handled now by Kresbach. On the stick of Wilhite, hopping away from him, and now it's going to be gathered in and played in by Langfelds. That gets away from Donahue at the line. Luke Middlestat, nice job to keep it alive. Knew his man was there. Hits traffic on its way in. Someone lost a stick, and here's Christie in on a breakaway. He has Langfelds on him. Christie. Oh, what a play by Langfelds. He breaks that one up. Puck rolls back up into the neutral zone. Controlled now by the Cadets as they play this one through. Langfelds didn't quit on that puck and stop that scoring chance off the breakaway. Wilhite in front, misses the mark. Now it's Pager with it. Pager gets away from one man, shot in on goal, and that is stopped and handled by Donahue.
Well, it was McFadden that was coming out to challenge Pager. He put a nice move around him and walked in to the left dot, put a pretty good shot on goal. There you see it. It's just he drew him in, went
nice
around
job.
him. Absolutely. If you can kind of do that, it's kind of a vulnerable moment, but he made that happen. Pretty good shot on goal, but Donahue, nice job of tracking that one into the glove hand. Face off to his right. 4:16 left in the second period.
Face-off win again by the Eagles. Offensive zone time continues here with 4:11 to go in the period. Now it's the Cadets out of the zone. Getting away from one man was Killen. And now it's going to be Jensen. He has an angle in front. Oh, what a shot there. What a save. Nice feed to Holt from Jensen. Considered by many a Mr. Hockey finalist here in the state of Minnesota for the seniors. Blocker pad save, turned aside. Jensen hounds the puck to the corner. Tried to get an angle on O'Brien, instead goes down. Now it's going to be handled by the defense. Bamer was there, but the Eagles get it back. Jensen to the backhand, holds it. Oh, he came back to the forehand. Oh, Donahue was there. Now Jensen gets it back. They're buzzing. To the line for Argetsinger. His shot's blocked. Oh, Argetsinger lifts the stick, gets it back. Blocked again. Wow, there's going to be some sore shins for Charlie Killian. Now Jensen again working hard on this shift. To the line, but not out. Again, that's Argetsinger to hold it in. What work by the defenseman there. Jensen, quick pass out front. That one deflected away and then off the stick of Batchelder. Back in behind the net it goes. Big Karam to the near boards, chip the glass, but not out. Wow, they keep it alive. The Eagles are going to cycle through a full line change in the offensive zone. That's the one thing that can happen on these short changes. Now it's played back in behind. The Cadets are exhausted here on this shift, and they finally clear it. Oh, they're going to say no ice.
Wow.
Wow. Goodness gracious.
Must have plans later. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not. No, it's an ice. No, they're going to let that. Yeah, it is an ice. Oh, look at that. The Eagles bench is up in arms.
I don't blame them to a certain degree. But
Tom Gertis says you're absolutely wrong.
Well, in fact, they are. They're getting together for a huddle. But, again, they're not perfect out there, but you just have to suck it up, play on. It is what it is. But you can't let something like this kind of take away your focus. Eden Prairie's been very solid the last 5 minutes.
Oh, they're calling the icing goal.
Really have the Cadets on the ropes. The Cadets are taking a couple punches, but they didn't go down. But a couple wide shots, but a lot of grand opportunities for Eden Prairie. Now it's an offensive zone faceoff for St. Thomas. Just 2:40 left in the second period. A chance to take back some of the momentum that Eden Prairie took from them.
Can you imagine what would happen if the Cadets score on this faceoff?
Oh, well, those are just the little things that come up. You have to work your way through.
Back to the line, Wingus. Played away by John Middlestat. Fights off and check. He's with Kresbach at the line. And it's going to be played back into the neutral zone. 2 minutes 25 to go in period number 2. This thing is just laser fast here. This game, I'm loving it, man. To the right wing side, it's Vega. Now in stride for Hallam. Bothered on the play by Horton. John Middlestat try to get his man, but Hallam bothers him. Back in behind it goes. Schultz gets a stick on his man. It's going to be O'Neill up to the line. Shot. Oh, that hit traffic. Nearly eluded Bullis back in behind the net. Now they go short, far side in front. They swat away with it. Now it's back in the neutral zone and handled by Wingus. Rink wide it goes for Henry. He backpedals, has his team's lone goal, and now it's going to be handled by Vega, picked off by Middlestat. Middlestat watched by Vega again, a couple of nines going at it through the neutral. Ooh, inside out she goes, taking a little page out of the Casey Big Brother book there. Now it's John Middlestat up to the line. Langfels, ooh, quick heavy wrister from the point, right into the midsection of Donahue as he hangs on.
Well, that's not a bad play by Langfels. Nice job by Middlestat to gain the zone, really put some heat on. Then he got it back out to Langfels. Good low shot from the point, from the left point area, and there were I think Wilhite and Smith were down low, so if there was a second chance, Eden Prairie would have been on top of it, but a nice job by the cadet goaltender to hold on to that one. Face off to his right, just 1:30 left in the second.
Rolling puck to the line. Luke Middlestat comes away to the corner, bumps it down. Ooh. Smith brought down in a heap. No call, we play on. Smith with it. Protects the puck. To the line underneath the stick of Langfels. Back at center, he better hurry because here they come. Ooh, good speed there. Langfels stays on his man. Bullis doesn't bail, and it's stopped by the pad and then turned aside. Christie, top of the right circle, blocked. Christie again, spun away from the puck. We're under a minute to play in the period. Now it's the Cadets. Nice job, Langfels. Busy stick, Rudrud. Long pass to center. Smith plays it through a little bit, but then that's going to be chipped off the boards by Shimmick, and now across the line for McFadden. Smith reaches and swipes it back into the neutral zone as it's going to be Bodette with it. Left wing side off the boards, too far. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestat. Rolling puck, sends a pass ahead. That's off a Cadet player. Here comes Rudrud with speed. He's bothering Bodette. Rudrud wins the race and puts the body on, looking to force a turnover with 25 to go in the period. Now it's going to be Rudrud. Oh, nice pass. Shot over the top of the goal and a big bid there from Holt. Look out, here they come with 15 in the period. Right wing side they go. Hallam. Now Vega. Watched on the play by Argetsinger. Back behind, through the crease area. O'Neill swings at a miss. And now it's going to be played to the right wing side as it's played up to the neutral zone, and that does it for the second period. This was a dandy.
Yeah, I think if you're coach, I think if you're coach Lee Smith, you have to feel pretty good about the way your team played. He's trying to flag some of the officials over to get some qualification. But if you're St. Thomas and the Vanelli coaches, I think you have to feel pretty good about the resiliency of your team. They were faced with a lot of adversity that period, and they survived for the most part, and actually came down and put some late heat on Bullis and the Eden Prairie Eagles. So I think both teams have some adjustments that they can make, but Eden Prairie's just got to keep on keeping on. I think Eden Prairie has done a good job of making the right decisions on their blue line. They're taking the shots when they need to take the shots. They're challenging when they need to, and they're regrouping when they have to. So Eden Prairie's defensive core has played a very sound game so far.
Eagles lead 2-1. We're going to have a thrilling third period coming up for you in the MNHockey.tv right after this.
Eden Prairie High School hockey continues. We're between periods. A great season as always, as we're high school hockey is at its finest here at MNHockey.tv. And we're joined by Dan Werner, the general manager of the Green Mill in Eden Prairie. And I'm in a newly, well, shall I say, remodeled, renovated restaurant that no longer feels like a pizza joint. It feels like a sports bar in here, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, so we wanted to kind of throw out the old kind of venue in a sense of making more of a family restaurant. We still are able to option the family style restaurant, but we wanted to kind of classify it as more of a sports bar. So we upgraded. We got 16 brand new TVs, more of a bar sitting area, and we played the sound for most games. So we definitely invite those of you that are into games and watching those things to join us for that. So,
is it just this location for Green Mill, or all of them changing to this?
A lot of them are being remodeled. Those that are phased out at 20 years old. This restaurant right here is 27 years old, and it had never been retouched for a remodel. So it was due. We are a franchise, therefore corporate stores are kind of, in a sense, on their own and what they want to remodel and go that route. But, yeah.
In terms of your menu, we were talking about that too. So no longer is it pizza, but you've got a full menu of which you say is selling quite well.
Yeah, definitely. We have an array of pastas. We have limited time offers. This month alone, we have a limited time pasta offer. So we come out with new pastas every month. Right now, it's buy 2 pastas, get a free bottle of wine. So we do a lot of appetizers, wings, pizzas, pastas. We got different types of, happy hour appetizers, things like that. Yeah.
So you buy 2 pastas and you're getting a free bottle of wine to go with it. That is fantastic. Yep. That's incredible. Now, another thing you said, I just live up the road. You're on the corner of, from a more global scale, the corner of Flying Cloud Drive and Prairie Center Drive. You turn and just go west a couple blocks, and you're right there on the corner.
Just behind Walmart.
And that's Commonwealth. That's the main road, just behind Walmart. This is kind of the core, the heart of the retail area of Eden Prairie, which is hopping, of course, easy to get to. But if you want to eat from home, and I know we have a lot of Eden Prairie families and people in the area, Bloomington too. I don't know what your delivery area is, but it's just not pizza that you're delivering here.
No, we deliver full menu. As long as you are in the surrounding of Eden Prairie, we deliver to all of Eden Prairie. We go to some businesses that are in Minnetonka, so I urge you, if you are kind of on the outskirts, certainly give us a call, chat with me. We do a lot of business delivery. But yeah, as long as you're in Eden Prairie, full menu.
Take advantage of that for sure. How about as far as functions, teams, and celebrations? What do you have in play for that?
Certainly. We do have a lot of sporting events here when it comes to end-of-the-year parties. Hockey teams, we definitely do Eden Prairie High School sports. They always have their parties here. Just about every Saturday we get the little league guys in here. We do fundraisers as well. So I do urge, if you are in the sports kind of association within Eden Prairie, we give 20% back on all fundraising, so that's a good way to support your community and kind of focus on the cost of that stuff.
And so in terms of how that looks, does that be, for instance, like there's a day for baseball or football or hockey, whatever, if it's whatever day you guys choose, 20%, do you have to make like a note to say, hey, I'm with Eden Prairie baseball or hockey? Is that how it works?
Yeah, certainly. We provide the vouchers, so I urge you, again, give me a call. Again, I can walk anybody through that, any team manager. It's certainly a good way to fundraise and build kind of take some of them costs away for some of the association.
Beautiful. And then you also said that you're a part of some of the other teams, Nordic and other. Can you touch on what you're doing with the other EP sports teams as well, it's in terms of promotion? Yeah,
certainly. So my goal is to really, support the community, and by that is anything within the high school and middle schools and elementary schools. So I support the Nordic ski team. We promoted with them, so they got the little cards with deals on them, 5 off 25 with that, as well as the boys and girls basketball teams. So we do some promotions with that inside their advertising and booklets. So we feed the teams for kind of free in a sense of that and a little trade. So
that's great stuff. Dan Werner, your general manager of Green Mill here in Eden Prairie. Give us your official address and website.
It's 8266 Commonwealth Drive here in Eden Prairie. You can find us at greenmill.com. Just search for Eden Prairie.
We'll be calling for delivery this week for sure, my friend.
Certainly. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We'll be back with more high school hockey right after this. Periods on our Minnesota high school hockey coverage, and are pleased to be joined by Tradition Capital Bank's Scott Boyning. Scott's the market president for Tradition Capital Bank. And Scott, you got quite the thing going on here. Can you kind of give us an overview on Tradition Capital Bank? What is it? How many employees, future offices, or what you have for offices and future growth?
Sure. Thanks, Pete. Thanks for the opportunity. Tradition Capital Bank was a de novo bank in July of 2005. Today, 13 years later, we're about $700 million in assets, so a nice-sized bank. Main locations in Edina, Minnesota. We have a full-service bank in North Oaks, and possibly going to the West Metro in 2019.
Oh, really? Yeah. Can you give us any nibbles of what you're thinking? Or
just growing the franchise. We've got a lot of clients and referral partners out in that area, so that we will be able to service the entire Twin Cities metro.
Boy, that's fantastic. So you'll have all angles covered there. From your bank, I personally bank with you.
Thank you.
And I love it. It's very efficient, very impressive. The staff is great, and all of the services are fantastic for me from a business perspective. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes your bank unique?
Yeah, we really focus on the relationship banking model, which is really getting to know our clients. So we're more positioned as a private bank, which means a lot of different things to different people. But really, what we're focused on is larger relationships, less customers, more service. Kind of the old school way of doing banking. We sit down, meet with an individual, talk about themselves and their business, and how we can help them. If it's over a cup of coffee, or if it's at the bank or at their business, it's the face-to-face handshake type relationships we have. That I think in this day and age in banking kind of sets you apart with some of the big guys.
The big out-of-the-box chain type banks we've seen. But the other thing is how much has that, do you think, contributed to your future growth out to the West, and also your $750 million in assets, that type of strategy? How much has that played into it?
It's a very important part of our strategy. We're 99% referral based, so great clients like you telling other people that's the best way for us to grow. We've been organic growth from day one, hiring good people and taking care of our clients, and that's how we continue to kind of see our growth going forward.
Now, we know the economy has been soaring and the stock markets have been incredible, and it's been, for a lot of people, a good year. How has the year been for Tradition Capital Bank?
It's been another strong year. We've had organically about $100 million of growth year over year for the last 4 years. And a lot of that is attributed to the overall economy in the Twin Cities and Minnesota market and the real estate market. Obviously, lately, rates have gone up a little bit, but we still feel there's a lot of strong growth in the new housing, new construction area going into next year. But we also, we're getting larger as a bank, or getting more diversified. So seeing businesses grow, need for capital, and with rates going up, we're also paying a little bit more on deposit rates, which correspondingly kind of can help or hurt your margin depending on how you're doing.
In terms of, we kind of touched on a little bit about word of mouth and your relationships and those kinds of things, but what is one of the things that you do to, beyond that, to compete with the larger big name banks that you see the signs everywhere?
Yeah, for us, it's try to make banking simple and quick turnaround. We're locally owned and operated, so we make decisions here locally really quickly. Term sheets usually within 24 hours for a loan. Deposit accounts we can set up very efficiently, very fast. Technology is a game changer. I think that's the great equalizer in banking going forward. So we continue to invest in technology to help make it easier for our clients and their businesses to do business with us.
Now, we do know that technology is part of everything, and there are some tools out there that people employ in every aspect of business. What have you done on the banking side of things to utilize that?
For us, it continues to be, I think, paramount is the security side, and we continue to make investments in security. You're seeing a lot of fraud, cybersecurity, things like that in the news. And then mobile apps, continuing to make our mobile app the best we can to make it easy, taking a picture of your check to make a deposit so you don't have to come in, moving money. We're also researching additional ways for people to be able to move money easier.
Yeah.
You've heard of Zelle and different things like that. I think you're going to continue to see that. Fintech's a big word these days, but more innovations in technology will help banks like us compete with the bigger banks. Because if you can combine the relationship plus the technology, that's really tough to beat, I think. So, kind of be a fast follower, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? You don't need to invent the wheel, you just need to modify it.
Exactly. And that's, banks of our size, I think that's kind of the golden rule going forward is make sure you have the products and services, but combine that with the true relationship banking model.
Any last words you have for our listeners?
We'd love to help you. We're here in Edina and North Oaks. If you're looking for a locally owned, operated bank, we'd love to take the time to meet for coffee and see how we can help you.
I second that motion. Make the call. That's Scott Boyning. He's the market president from Tradition Capital Bank. And once again, they're a member FDIC and equal housing lender. We're between periods on our Minnesota high school hockey coverage.
And here we go, getting ready to start period number 3. It'll be the Cadets and the Eagles, a 2-1 hockey game. And it's been a beauty here from the rec center in Eden Prairie, or the community center, if you will. These rinks are all kind of becoming one, Bart Archer.
They're all fun to come to, though.
It'll be the Cadets now at the neutral zone and center ice as they control. Poked away by the stick of Henry. And back ahead they go for Christie. Christie on it. He looks to the corner, tries to bull rush in on goal, and that one's going to be whistled down.
Well, it was a pretty good job by Pager on that to force him the outside, but Christie with his determination went after the goal, knocked it off its moorings. It'll be interesting to see where the faceoff's going to be. It should be outside the zone. It looks like it's going to be, so initiated by Christie on that aggressive play. It was a good play. Cadets are very good at going to the net, but again, Eden Prairie's done a nice job of actually inhibiting their forward progress so far to this point.
Looking up ice now, that was Argetsinger with it. He'll play that one back into the Cadet zone. Shimmick jumped on the play there. That was Jensen with the check. That one wide of the mark. Pager comes away with it back into the neutral zone. Looks over for Argetsinger. Instead, he goes to the middle. Nice job to gain the checkered. Backhand in deep. Cadets now with 200 feet to work. Forecheck. That one just missed the mark. There's a shot that's going to create a whistle.
Well, I think the net's off the mooring, and that initiated the whistle. But Eden Prairie coming out with some pretty good energy right now. And Argetsinger and Pager are really a great tandem back there in the blue line. Argetsinger, nothing gets out of the zone when he's around. Again, solid play by the backliners of this Eden Prairie squad continuing into this third period.
Ring play to the right wing side as here comes O'Neill across the line, leaves a drop pass for Hallam through the goal mouth area. Jensen pokes this one up to the neutral zone. This is where he's dangerous. Right wing side, offside, is having to wait for that one was Holt, and he caught himself just by an eyelash.
Well, and not much resistance from Eden Prairie. It was a very close play, but a definitive call by the linesman. Going to bring the face-off outside the zone. It looks like they're going to bring it to center ice, which confuses me a little bit.
Somewhat of the intentional variety where
Okay.
you, intentional brings you all the way down, but
The unintentional
bang, bang play is
intentional.
Thank you. The bang play at the line, that's one that could have been helped. Back into the neutral or the offensive zone it goes for the Eagles. As it's going to be handled across the line. That one will be offside.
Yeah, only by a lot. Not a lot of gray area on that one. But one thing that Eden Prairie is doing quite well is they're taking the F3 and keeping them high. So really, St. Thomas is not getting any odd man rushes. It's man for man. So Eden Prairie doing a very responsible job through the neutral zone, coming back and playing some sound defense.
Eagles on the face-off win. A.J. Horton, the senior, plays that one to the right wing side for Presbach, who works the forecheck. Horton comes away with it again. He's going to play back for Schultz off the boards. And that's going to be in the equipment of Carter Henry. Henry looks to the slot area, or the middle of the neutral zone, rather. Nobody home. And Schultz will come away with it. Lofts that one high in the air. The Eagles are kind of content here to play a little chip and chase right now, Bart.
Well, they just want to put the puck in an area where they can actually come back and defend. They don't need another goal, but you don't want to change the style of play. They've had some pretty good success.
Great second period. We'll watch how this evolves. You're giving up possession, but you're also making the safe play. There's benefits to both.
Well, Eden Prairie's accounting for all the St. Thomas forwards that are trying to come through the neutral zone, so they're playing very sound defensive.
Oh, that handcuffed Donahue. He'll guide it off to the left wing for Herzog. He has McFadden on the move with Christie to the left wing. The Eagle poke checked that off his stick in the neutral zone, the emblem. Now Rudroot is there. I hate when that happens. The puck bounces onto the stick of Bamer. Don't tell me you don't have that happen in the old man's league with the Luther Bulldogs.
It's not an old man's league. I'm just the old man.
Okay.
Everybody else is youthful.
Are the beards gray? That's all I'm going to ask you.
Mine is.
Well, there you go. Turning away his Baber.
That's why we shave. Taking liberties at your buddy. No, that's not nice.
No, I'm not. McFadden plays that one. Langfels is there. McFadden. My favorite is baseball. You watch those guys hit a blast off the wall, and it's a long single.
Yeah.
Because they can't move.
Or there might be even a play at first base.
Here's Luke. Oh, he springs Wilhite in on goal. He was hounded from behind. No penalty. Let's take a look at this one on replay, Bart. But what a nice feed right here up the middle.
Yeah, in fact, he caught him in stride, but it was Killian that actually chased that play down. Really a nice release right there. Put it right on the tape, but it was Killian that came in. Look at the positioning. He closed the gap very, very quickly and really kind of limited that opportunity. It was a really a good opportunity for Eden Prairie, but nice job of thwarting that forward rush by Killian, the junior defenseman.
I got to let our viewers in a little bit. Our camera guy, Todd Grover, is less than thrilled with his working conditions here. And he has elevated his game to A++ level here tonight. It's just that good. And he was looking at the replay there, and he knows it too.
Yeah, that's the benefit of all of his experience.
Bodette. That's off the stick of Lillajord, and icing will be the call with 12:37 to go in the period. 5-2 was the score after 2 at the Richfield Ice Arena with the Blake Bears and the Academy of Holy Angel Stars.
Well, I'm excited about covering the Holy Angel squad this year, but Blake has a pretty good product out there. Holy Angels actually had a 7-2 victory where Noah Griswold got a hat trick, so good things to come for the Stars moving forward. Got a challenge tonight, though, don't they?
Face-off win by the Cadets. Couple of opportunities there. Bullis shuts the door. How good has he been here tonight?
He's been the difference.
High right wing side. Now up to the left for Shimmick. Through traffic, try to find a man on the angle that was Vega. Up off the netting it goes. 12:20 to go in the third period. Now we're going to get into the territory for the Eagles last year, Bart. We did all of their home. We did 20 of their games last year.
Mm-hmm.
How many leads did they have in the third period that we saw dissipate?
Well,
this finishing was difficult, so let's see. The hardest thing to do is to record the last out or play to the final buzzer, depending upon your sport.
Well, I think last year was one of Lee Smith's best coaching jobs, at least in my memory. He had some adversity, had a really good squad of willing combatitors, but I just don't think that they really had quite the talent or the experience that they have this year. So good things to come for the Eagles.
Wilhite and Smith exchange possession through center and play it in deep. It's Bodette. He'll ring the boards. Rudrud makes the read. Up to the line for Pager. Way over for Argetsinger. Shot ramps up off the glass behind the net. Now it's O'Neill with it. Picked off by Rudrud. Here's Smith. Ooh, he had Wilhite in front. Argetsinger, the big clapper. That goes up off the netting.
Well, Argetsinger's got a couple shots, but they may not have had a pretty sequence, so to speak. It wasn't very pleasing to the eye, but it was very effective. They got it to Argetsinger. He took the big windup. Eluded the forward that was coming out to block that shot just up and out of play, but it was initiated by St. Thomas, so faceoff's going to be to Donahue's left. 11:47 left in the third period. Eden Prairie holding on to a one-goal advantage.
Hallam disrupted that pass from Smith to Wilhite, which would have had the right-handed shot. Wilhite right in glorious scoring chance slot area, the dangerous triangle. And then that led to the Argetsinger blast that went up and over the net. Yeah,
and St. Thomas, it's known as kind of an offensive juggernaut, but they can defend as well, and they can move very, very quickly. I think Eden Prairie's defenseman has outplayed St. Thomas Academy a little bit in their own zone, but that's because the forwards are coming back. But Eden Prairie's doing a nice job of keeping possession of the puck, getting it to the open guy, and getting the shots, albeit they're coming from the point. They do have support in front, so I think they're doing what they want to do. Now the faceoff's going to come outside the zone.
Yeah, they were talking about whether that went off a stick or not, and it went straight up and out.
Well, as long as they get the call right, they went back and told Coach Lee Smith out of respect, so we play on.
Here come the Cadets, chipped off the glass. Ooh, that didn't go where it wanted to, but supporting was Wingus. Nice job by Batchelder to make the play. Off the stick of Pager, back in behind the net. Argetsinger is there. He's being watched by Soderling. Now it's John Middlestat there. Argetsinger has been stalwart tonight with Pager. Finds John Middlestat. The left-hand shot reaches over and makes a nice catch on that feed. Kresbach now off the boards. Batchelder's there. His shot hits traffic. Schultz down the boards it goes. Rung hard around the wall. Look out. Here comes Horton. Ooh, the pinch. The 2-1 lead. Got to think twice there. Maybe across the line they go. Right shot deflects back into the corner on the near side for Henry. Henry looks to the near side. Nice job there with the positioning by Schultz. Up high in the air. Kresbach couldn't handle that one down. Bullis tried to cut off. Now it's going to be picked up by Schultz. He has some room. Plays it ahead. Batchelder's there, and that's going to be icing all the way back down. We go into Eden Prairie turf with 10:44 to go here in the third period.
Well, Pete, if we hit the rewind button a little bit, nice zone exit by St. Thomas, just kissed it off the boards. But as you said, it was a pinch that wasn't successful. But it was Austin Krebsbach, the senior forward, that came back to balance out the numbers. And you can afford to take those chances, even up by a goal, if you can get the coverage from the forwards coming back. And they're certainly committed to the defensive side of this game, especially in this third period.
Back to the corner it goes. Langfeld swings it to Wilhite. Down to the knees they go with Shimmick. And that's turned over. They'll leave that one off. That one wide of the mark. Karam, nice shallow angle save by Bullis. It's Rudrud with it. Rudrud, nice job to get away from one man. Look out. Ooh, he could have been lit up there by Shimmick instead. It's taken away anyway by the Cadets. McFadden with it to the corner. Watched on the play by Luke Middlestad. McFadden now gets a little bit of help from Hallam. Now McFadden again, and here they come out of the zone with Wilhite 1-on-2. Nice little poke check to turn it over by Shimmick, and it's going to be sent right back into Eden Prairie territory. Langfels tried to play it up, but not enough on that one. Langfels watches to the corner. Vega in front. That one wide of Bullis. Here comes Wilhite. He has Smith leaving the zone. Flips to center. The footwork by Bamer plays this one ahead for Christie. Across the line, Vega loads it up. Nice work with the stick by Lillejord. It's going to be out of the zone. Off the stick. That was Jensen on the feed. As nice hard pass, but Jacob Lillejord could only just reach out and poke that one up into the neutral zone.
Well, and you can just feel St. Thomas is starting to push. We're under 10 minutes, 9:34 exactly to go in this third period. But it looks like Eden Prairie's just content to just kind of chip the puck out and live for another battle. But what happens is St. Thomas is very good in transition. A lot of open space coming into the zone. So Eden Prairie shouldn't really change too much the way that they play the game. But they're playing defensively responsible. But they still can't change too much of what they're doing. They still have to have a forward push.
Back behind the net, Argetsinger with it. Now it's Jensen. He's going to spring Holt. Nice job at the line. Played back in behind. Jensen plays it behind the net. Runs into his man. Jensen went from right wing to center now between these two in this game. Lillejord and Holt. Offside on the Cadets.
Oh, he paid a price on that one. Jensen
Man.
kind of rung him up a little bit. He looks no worse for the wear, but that was Wingus that took the brunt of that one, but it's going to come outside the Eden Prairie zone. But putting Jensen on the ice, you know that the coach is comfortable putting him out in any given situation. He's really a driving force. And if he's not in the talk for Mr. Hockey, I think there's got to be some pretty doggone talented players out there, because he certainly is a very driving force on this Eden Prairie Eagle squad offensively and defensively.
No doubt he is. And, you know, there's a long list. You obviously have the decommitted Ryder Donovan up at Duluth East.
Yeah, he can play.
Boy, his phone's been apparently ringing off the hook.
I can see why.
It's just annoying. Now, as I said, but that's what you get when you decommit, right?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would love to have that annoyance.
The whole point of committing is you stop the call.
Right.
From ringing. Now
That's when they don't call.
O'Brien. He's hit on the play by Pager. Now it's Argetsinger. Clock winds to 8:38. 2-1 tense hockey game here in the third. Off the stick of Kresbach, the length of the ice it goes. Killian was there. Kresbach on him. Bamer comes away with it. He's going to be forechecked on the play. Up high they go. Rudrud shot. Oh, that one redirected. Now they'll spin off one check to the line, but not out. Horton, quick wrister. Stick save. Donahue, nice read. Rudrud, boy, he's had a nice game tonight for the Eagles. Working hard. He's got the rangy frame.
Plus, he's got the Cadets' heads on a swivel as well.
Well, he just goes east-west so well and can change direction. Schultz rings for Smith. Off his stick, couldn't handle it. Now Bodette rips it right back in. Schultz looks to reach. He better hurry. Nice little pick by Wilhite there to allow Schultz, but no, nice job there to play down low. It's Hallam, wraparound attempt in front. They score! Oh, the Cadets kept coming. They did what they needed to do, and they tied it 2.
And that's going to be Christie's 4th goal of the season, first goal of this game, but they knotted it at 2. Just a bit of a misplay in the Eden Prairie zone really gave them the opportunity. Just a bit of a misplay, a nice redirect, getting the puck out back front, and it was Rob Christie that finished that one off. You could just kind of sense it coming, but now Eden Prairie's going to have to roll up their sleeves and get back to doing what they were doing with success, but it's a tie game, 7:44 left in the third period. It's not a huge surprise, but we knew that it was going to be a tightly contested game, but 7.5 minutes to go in the third period, tied up at 2. This is good stuff.
Eagles now with Luke Middlestat off the stick of Jensen up high in the girders. And we're knotted at 2 with 7:34 to go in the period.
Yeah, that one rattled around up in the rafters. Faceoff should be outside the zone. Yep, it looks like it's going to be just in front of the Cadets bench.
Cadets out of the zone off the face-off. McFadden away from Langfelds off the end boards. It's going to be Christie again. Rob Christie bothered. Ooh, he could have been lit up there. He got lucky. Oh, here comes nice feed from Jensen to Holt. Sends that one wide of the mark. Now it's going to be the Cadets again as they're going to race up ice. They've got a 3-on-2. Jensen hurrying back. Ooh, he could have lit up his man, laid off him neatly there. That would have been an interference call. That was McFadden who got away from what would have been an ugly hit there. McFadden puts on the brakes. Now jammed by Jensen. Long shot off the side of the cage. Back into the corner they go with it. Bamer walks and shoots, and Bullis makes the save.
Well, it just seems like the Cadets are getting possession, getting the shots on goal, and getting their shots on goal to make Bullis force him to make that save. He made himself pretty big on that one, held on to the rebound, but it just seems like there is some space for the Cadets in the offensive zone to kind of work it to the open man, and it looks like Eden Prairie starting to chase just a little bit. Time to tighten up.
Argetsinger to the right wing for Kresbach. Now John Middlestat works on his man Killian to the corner. Kresbach there to support, but it's going to be played back through everyone. That was Middlestat that missed Argetsinger. Pager will play it from the near corner. Vega bothering him. Batchelder finds John Middlestat on the move. To the left wing side he goes. You want to make a move on the defenseman. Bamer couldn't. Instead it's going to be Kresbach from the corner. Now Middlestat takes over. Looks to the slot area. And that's going to be wide of the mark. Middlestat gets it back. Back up to the line. Near side for Pager from Argetsinger. That one hit Batchelder on the way in. Short side, there's another shot that hits the goaltender. Donahue, nice job to cover the spot there. There's a backhander. Ooh, that had seeing eyes. And that's a nice job by Donahue to cover that one up and fight it off.
No, and in fact, he gave himself an opportunity, but instead of trying to migrate to the forehand, which is everybody's nookie blanket, he went with the backhand. It found its way to Donahue, and I think it was a little squirrely, so Donahue had a little trouble corralling that puck. But, you get it to the forehand, you allow them to reset, goaltender to square up. He just let that go quickly, and I think it caught the Cadet goaltender by surprise. Just 5:48 left, but Eden Prairie starting to show some offensive life.
5:48 to go in the third period, as you said, Bart Archer. Oh, nice job by Jensen. Walked right through on the draw. Shallow angle in on goal. Watch this little play by Jensen off the draw here.
Yeah, I think he surprised himself a little bit. But again, a big face-off. And Jensen's been pretty good in the face-offs. Thank you for putting your hand in the way. I couldn't see it, but really nice play by Jensen. Does a lot of things to help his team.
Right wing now. It's going to be handled by Wright. He's checked on the play. Held in at the line. O'Brien's shot doesn't get through. Jensen gathers it up. He'll be cut loose up the right wing side. He has a man going to the net. Poke checked off his stick. Played back in behind. Villajord with it. Looked to the slot area. Picked up and played to center. That one off the stick of the Cadets number 16, Jared Wright. Now it's going to be Henry with it. O'Brien comes down back in behind the net. The outlet to the left side for Wingus. Near side for Henry. Finds right across the line. There's a shot. Ooh, they got into that one. Langfelds, nice job to block that shot. In on goal is Bullis to make the save.
Yeah, and then St. Thomas Academy took a little shot at the goaltender, and he had to pay the price on that. I think it was Riley O'Brien got a little aggressive, but Bullis made himself big. Kind of a little bit of a shallow angle shot on that, but again, any shot on goal at this juncture is a good shot on goal. 5:02 left in the third period, but now it's St. Thomas's turn, offensive zone face-off.
They get the win up to the line for Bodette. Bounces wide. This is a game you would expect from a couple of top 10 teams here in the great state of Minnesota. That's off Smith's stick, played off the boards by Bodette. Smith again. Now across the line with Bodette. Steered off the glass. And again back up through center, too far for Smith. Turning away is Shimmick. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestead. Handles it from the checkered. In on goal, or toward the goal mouth area rather, as he's stopped by the defense. Nice job by Redroot, but albeit momentarily, as it's going to be McFadden. Hounded from the backside there. That was Luke Middlestead. No, not a lot of penalties in this one.
No,
Maybe
they've let
one.
him play. They've really let him play. They're going to call it if they see it, but as you said, that part has settled down. Luke Middlestead got caught a little deep, kind of a trying moment for Eden Prairie, but they survived.
There's only been one power play in this game way back in the first couple of minutes. That went to the Eagles, and they scored shortly after it on a 5-on-5. Argetsinger, left wing. Nice job across the neutral zone there by Henry to cut that off. Looked for O'Neill. Pager back in behind. He better hurry. Here comes Herzog. Flushed him out of there. Pager gets center and plays that one in. Oh, they're going to go absolutely literal on the line.
Well, I guess if you're the Vanellis, you want him to call it tight, and he made the proper call. There was a little white area between the puck and the red line, so just got a little bit too aggressive early to dump that one down. But now the Eden Prairie with a defensive zone faceoff, just 3:32. But St. Thomas looks focused. They're getting right to the dot. But Eden Prairie, they have to survive this one.
Clean win by the Cadets, and on goal, stopped by Bullis.
That might have actually hit Lilla George's stick and changed the angle on that one. So nice job by Bullis to keep tracking that puck. It was fluttering on the way in, and sometimes those have a propensity to dip. But he got his body in front of that one.
Again, another face-off win control by the Cadets. Offensive zone possession critical here in the latter stages. You want to get out of that D zone if you're the Eagles, and possess if you're the Cadets. It's getting muddy on the near boards between Jensen and Henry, who goes down on the play. He's shaken up. Now he's up and at him. To the bench he goes. It's off him. No icing on the play.
Yeah, they're not going to let him off.
He's going to head to the bench. He didn't really have much of a choice there. Now he goes on. It's been a tough. Ooh, a stick came up high there on Holt as he's holding his stick. Uh-oh, here comes Downey. Oh! Oh, my word! The goaltender. Oh, my word, throwing haymakers.
What did we just see?
Let's take a look at that one on replay.
Boy, that really accelerated into something significant in a hurry.
Watch this right here. Everything's cleared up, folks, so watch this. 1, 2.
Well, we found out he's a lefty.
Ty Domi.
But it was Carter Henry that was trying to get off the ice, and the puck was cleared, and he decided to go ahead and make a play on that one, and then he got challenged in his own zone, and that's when Donahue kind of came off the rails a little bit.
Right now, Greg Vanelli is saying, okay, we had a big problem over here on the wall, and you're not doing. The door is open, so Tom Vanelli's opened the door right now.
Well, he was engaged with Jack Jensen, and they got a little carried away to a certain degree, but it was away from the play. They opted not to call that.
He got shaken up, and he was going to go to the bench.
Yep.
He was forced to make a play at the line. And then I will turn the refs down. We want to hear them talking about that. That's a little bit encroachment on our part. So then it comes back into the other zone, and I grew up in an era where that was what a goalie would do for his guy. I mean, but he could get a major for fighting, or something's going to happen there, because he was a third man type in situation there.
Well, plus, and I'm not trying to vilify him, but punches were thrown, and I think to the letter of the law, I mean, that's got to be a serious consideration on that. And this is an emotional game, and sometimes the emotions can get the better of you, but I was a little surprised that it escalated as quickly as it did.
Well, he just walked in and squared off and started throwing haymakers. There's nothing worse than getting the blocker pad to the chops.
Yeah, that one. Those
things aren't soft.
Well, and that's why there's got to be some accountability and some consequence to that. We'll just see how everything unfolds.
We'll take a look at reactions here from the benches. Todd, let's cue in here. Thank you, sir. Now they're talking to the cadet bench. We'll watch for the backup goalie, Wes Jarvis, if something is coming down the pipe here.
Well, I might be wrong, but I can't see a situation where Donahue's going to continue to play in goal after that little sequence of events, so to speak. But Peter, I think it all came down to it wasn't actually the hit, but I think what he did is Henry squeezed his leg so he couldn't get his stick out, and he tried to pick him up, and that's when it got a little bit out of hand from that point forward.
Nothing's up on the board, but what I would do is I'd go Holt a minor for roughing. I would go Henry a minor for roughing, and then I would either go a double minor for roughing to the goaltender. Probably that, as opposed to a full-fledged fight.
Well,
that would be my call.
You want to be as fair as possible, but and I'm not going to say that I'm a rules aficionado, so to speak. But
he's gone.
Well,
go ahead, Todd. Let's take a look here. He's gone. It's going to be Wes Jarvis.
Well, and I'm not trying to vilify the young man. He's played an outstanding game so far, and they're going to have a lot of good things from Muzzy Donahue. But I think it's the appropriate call, and I hate to say it because you don't want anybody to be taken out of a contest at 2:51 in a tie game, especially the goaltender, so to speak. But if that's how it's going to happen, well, he's going back in. So you are correct, Pete. I know it's going to be a power play for the Eden Prairie Eagles squad, but it looks like Muzzy Donahue is going to be able to stay in goal. So, boy, it's going to be an interesting 2:51 to finish this game out, or at least this period out. Eden Prairie on the power play, good opportunity, but again, just an unusual sequence of events in a game that's been very spirited, but tightly contested and respectful. But things got off the rails a little bit, but it looks like they're getting back on the rails. 2:51 to go in regulation.
So it's going to be a 5-on-4 power play to get this thing hooked up for you. You got John Middlestedt. Now it's going to be the Eagles on the breakout to the right wing side. Luke Middlestedt. Now it's Jensen, gets away from one man. Across the line to John Middlestedt. He'll put on the brakes, hang on to the puck. Nice job to get that away. Luke Middlestedt near side for Rudrud. Puck's rolling. Back up for Luke Middlestedt. Sends one through. Ooh, redirect there. Down goes an Eagle. They'll find an opening and send it the length of the ice. Bullis, nice job. Very agile goaltender, gets to his left. Leaves off for Luke Middlestedt. He's going to wind it up through his own zone. Over for Rudrud. Rudrud misses John Middlestedt. A rounding puck. Here's a foot race for it. Jensen gets there. Rudrud made the play, but then lost the handle. O'Neill now one-on-one with Luke Middlestedt. John Middlestedt there as well. Luke stops him, and then John comes away with it. Across the line, 2-on-4. Eagles loaded up, send a shot. That one wide of the mark. Now it's going to be handled by Shimmick. 1:40 to go in the period, 49 to go in the power play. Great kill here by the Cadets. Beautiful work. Back in behind it goes.
Yeah, an area shot on goal, but even if you're Eden Prairie, 39 seconds left on the power play, you still have to mind your defensive responsibilities. St. Thomas can turn it up in a hurry, even a man down.
Big collision in front of the bench area there. Luke Middlestedt across the line. Loses an edge. Fans want a penalty. That one, no way.
Yeah.
Nice try. 20 to go in the power play. 1:10 of the third. Another rush for the Eagles with the man advantage. Rudrud cuts through the defense, across the line. Argetsinger down the wall. We're under a minute to play. We're getting into the sudden death period right now. Now it's Rudrud. Up high they go for Pager. Quickly over to the right wing side. We're even now at 5-on-5. There's a one-timer. Wilhite, nice shot and a save. And they're going to wrap their man up in front.
Look at that.
No
that was
problem.
a good save by Muzzy Donahue on that one. Big save at the right time. 46.5 left in this third period. Eden Prairie finally got their first shot on goal after a 2-minute power play. So a really stingy penalty kill by this St. Thomas squad. In fact, they chipped the puck out, really didn't give Eden Prairie much of a look at the goal. And when they did, Muzzy Donahue came up big with that save. Faceoff's going to be to his left. As I said, 46.5 left in the third period.
Thanks for joining us here tonight.
Absolutely.
This has been really good. Stick save up off the netting.
Well, if Eden Prairie can keep winning these faceoffs and getting shots on goal, there is support down there. Donahue, nice job of ramping that up and out of play. Faceoff's going to be now to his right.
Our other game on the MN Hockey.tv went final. It was Blake 6 and the Academy of Holy Angels 3. Back behind the net for Jensen. 34 to go in the period. Jensen up high. He's going to cycle it back in behind up off the netting.
Well, that one's going to come outside the zone, which is a bit of a benefit for St. Thomas. A couple faceoffs in their own zone late in this period, so now they get at least a little breathing room. But it all comes down to winning these faceoff. There's 29.6, so just under 30 seconds. Plenty of time for a team to get some possession, get down, and put some pressure on the goaltender. So it's going to be an exciting 30 seconds to finish this third period out.
There you go, John Middlestead on the right wing. Jensen up the middle, Rudrud on the left. Pager and Argetsinger. Loading it up are the Eagles.
And McFadden and Rudrud are having a little conversation. It looks amicable, though.
Oh, look out. Blown tire in the neutral zone. That was Argetsinger, but they get it back. Nice job to recover. John Middlestead kind of lost the handle, somehow stayed on it. Jensen lets that one go deflected wide of the mark. Now it's going to be Jensen. 20 to go in the period. Stays on the puck, swats it back into the corner. Rudrud smothers his man on the near boards. Henry is there. 11 to go in the period. Here come the Cadets. Oh, nice move there across the line. Wingus. 6 to go in front. That one's poked away. Oh, we're going to have overtime. It feels like it. 2 seconds to go. And you're right, ladies and gentlemen. We have overtime. We couldn't ask for more in this one. What a great game. A little extra hockey for you on the MNHockey.tv.
Well, it was St. Thomas that came through with just about 8 seconds ago. It was a 3-on-2 situation, but it was Argetsinger that actually stopped that forward progress and really took that scoring opportunity or potential scoring opportunity away from the Cadets. But, boy, if this overtime is going to be anything like the regulation time, it's going to be very, very exciting. Don't go away.
Well, make sure to tell a friend and follow us on Twitter at MNHockeyTV. We'll have all the information coming up. By the way, yours truly and Tom Chorsky will most likely be putting together a Hock Dish podcast for you to hear. We've got a new Goldies podcast. Ken Pauly's is out, Pauly's podcast. Of course, Pat Griswold and the Academy of Holy Angels. A game coming up on Thursday as well. That's going to be Minnetonka, the #1 team in the land, against the St. Louis Park Orioles. And, skippers are scary. They're not healthy. They're winning.
Yeah, but I will say that last year, obviously it's a new addition, but last year St. Louis Park, the O's played them pretty tough. In fact, I think it was 7-4 or 6-4 or something. So they skated with them. Looking forward to a good contest and a spirited showing by the Orioles of St. Louis Park against the defending state champions.
We'll drop in about another 2 minutes. We'll keep it right here.
And both coaches kind of going through instructions. Lee Smith out on the ice, looking his team in the eye, telling them what the expectations are. But I think it just comes down to playing intelligent. Don't take any unnecessary chances. If you get the opportunity, go ahead and take it. But defense first. I always say in the overtime it's defense first. Offense can come from defense, but rarely does offense, being the driving force in the overtime. You want to be responsible, I guess, is the bottom line.
Responsible, but not too cautious. I mean, it's a very, very fine line there.
Absolutely. Well, that's what separates sometimes the good teams from the great teams, at least in that particular moment. But it is a fine line. But like I said, if you see an opportunity, you take it. The one thing I like about Eden Prairie is even if their defensemen are activated, the forwards are coming back, being responsible and covering. So not a lot of odd man rushes for the St. Thomas team, and that's really their bread and butter. When they can get numbers in the zone, they're very difficult to contain. But Eden Prairie's done a good job of evening the numbers coming into their own zone, and I think that's been a significant difference tonight. But both goaltenders have played pretty well, but I think Bullis has really put this Eden Prairie team in a position to win, and that's as a coach, that's all you can ask your goaltender to do.
Well, if you have goaltending, you can win, and the rest takes care of itself. And I don't think there's any issues with these two teams, having defensemen that can defend and move the puck in play, and forwards that can also use each other and put the puck in the net. This has been as well played of a high school game you're going to see at any time of the year, let alone the early part of the season. Well, this has been really good stuff.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I mean, for Eden Prairie, this is the second game of the year, and it's been a track meet for them so far. I mean, playing Cretin-Durham Hall right out of the gate and then coming back with St. Thomas Academy, that's not easy. And the cadets have played 4 games already, 3-1 coming into this contest, so they have some rhythm. They're familiar, and they got their legs about them too. But again, a very entertaining matchup tonight.
Be sure to follow as well on Twitter at the Tourney_19. It's just Chase does such a good job running that thing. He's got 15,000 followers now. He's been doing it.
And growing.
He's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
He puts together some great videos and some great content. He's a Twitter machine, so
good
be
stuff.
sure to check his stuff out. I said his first name. I hope he doesn't. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
We all want to be anonymous out there.
Well, Rudrud Smith and Will Height are the forwards.
Line's been good tonight.
Yeah, actually, it's been very effective, and they're really doing a good job. And they're getting some scoring opportunities. They've really done a good job in the offensive zone, but I think the neutral zone has been their bread and butter. They've really kind of controlled it when they've been in play.
Opening face-off played in the corner by the Cadets. Langfells is there. Off the stick of Rudrud, it'll still be an icing call. Back into Eagle territory we go.
Well, just missed him by a little bit, and it was Langfells that tried to send the puck up the wall, but it bounced over stick. There's been a lot of bouncing pucks tonight, but he regrouped and tried to hit him on a center breakout, but just missed him by a little bit. Play come back, 7:47 left in the first overtime period. Offensive zone face-off for the Cadets.
Groves, there's a shot for the point. I had something funny there, but here we go. It's going to be Smith with it. Looks for Rudrud. Will Height trolling in on goal. Nice save made there by Muzzy Donahue.
Well, Rudrud is the right-handed shot on the left wing, so he had a pretty good ankle. He looked off the goaltender, tried to look off the goaltender to feather a pass, I think, back to Smith, but ended up taking the shot. But nice focus by Donahue to corral that puck, face off to his right. It was a good shot by Rudrud.
Now to be Chrissy to take the draw with Jensen. Langfells back in behind. Jensen tried to play it off the short side. Nothing doing there. Big crowd here at the Community Center. Eden Prairie CC, what a great facility this is. Great staff to work with, too. Love coming to this place. We've got every home game for the Eagles, along with the Lake Conference Jamboree, if you will.
And you know they pay their heat bill, that's for sure.
Oh, we're right up by the heaters. It's awesome. Oops, they misfire there. McFadden regroups back for Bodette. 7:04 to go in overtime. Now it's Christie. These overtime games are great because they're pressure games which get you ready for the next sections of the season, which are section playoffs and state tournament. That's what every period, every shift is like.
Agreed.
Vega. So I would welcome these if I were a high school coach. Changing on the flyer, the Cadets, as it's going to be regrouped from their own zone. Langfells, that's picked off at the line. Now it's going to be Luke Metalstedt, sniped earlier in this game from the left side. That's off the blocker pad behind the net. Metalstedt again behind the net. Jensen walks up, left circle. Oh, right elbow got up a little bit there on him. Sent right back through. He's shaking up on that play.
Yeah, slow to get up.
Yep.
He looks no worse for the wear, though.
6:14 to go in the hockey game. Bamer for Killian. Argetsinger makes the read. He's got to wait, and in doing so is pickpocketed by O'Neill. But Will Height wisely plays it to the far corner. Rudrud chases down the wall. Bounding puck. Now it's Will Height. Nice little move to Rudrud. He'll try to work it inside out or outside in, if you will. And that one fails to click as it's going to be Rudrud again from the corner. Watched on the play by Bamer. Rudrud and Smith. Smith comes out of the corner with it. Walks the goal line, looks for Will Height. Pickpocketed by Vega. He's going to hustle up through the neutral zone, 1-on-2. Pager, nice job defensively there. Herzog swatted away. Christie on the puck, up to the line, underneath Wingus. Will Height watches him. Ooh, Wingus didn't get the angle on the puck off the boards he was looking for. Fights it back, though, anyway. Now Henry with it. 5:14 to go in the extra. Gets away from his man. It's going to be Henry. Look out, off the bench was Jensen. Ahead they go. John Middlestead across the line. Wrister off the mark. That hits the glass. Jensen slings it toward the goal mouth area. Nobody there. Pinching down is Argetsinger. Better get that.
Boy,
Here
that's
come
an
numbers the
aggressive
other
pinch.
way. And there's O'Neill back in behind the net. Short side misses the mark for Vega. Pinching down now, it's going to be Soderling. For Vega out of the corner. Loses the handle. Back in behind again. Vega again, that's blocked. Nice job by Pedro to go down and eat it. Now it's going to be Shimmick from the corner. Hustling into this one is O'Brien. Watched by Argetsinger. Catch Elders there as he's bothered by Vega. Down goes a Cadet player in front of the bench area. Played in along the line. That's Jensen to chip it back in through traffic. Will I have enough? Oh my word! That is, I'm just saying, I'm going down the middle, but that's brutal.
No, it's hard to disagree.
How do you both miss that?
And he's got the ire of Coach Lee Smith,
Yeah, I would
and
be there
deservedly
too.
so. But to back it up a little bit, Pager blocked that shot, and I think he caught it in some soft tissue because he was struggling toward the end of that shift. Finally made it off for a line change. He's going to be no worse for the wear, but it was a kind of a trying moment for Eden Prairie. But boy, if to the letter of the law, if there's a penalty for a trip, that would be the video.
If that guy doesn't get hauled up on the interference there, he's going to be to that puck, and it's not an icing call. So I mean, that's just they're both fixed on the puck and not the play.
And I think to the refs' offense, at least they're letting the kids decide the outcome of the game. You know, you don't want to put yourself in an area where those things can happen, but it's just time to put it behind you and move on.
Face-off win by the Eagles to the glass. Henry, nice job to keep it alive. Rudrud for Wilhite. Wilhite gains center and slips that one in behind. Donahue fans, and he guides it along for Hallam. Wilhite. Oh, that was Rudrud. He had opened up a little too much. Went high and over the glass. Christie can fly. Luke Middlestead, look at that. Poised by the sophomore defenseman. Angles it beautifully to the corner. Although Cadets control, they'll have it on the near side with McFadden. He'll open up to the right side. There's a wrister. Oh, that was off Bullis. Nice save there. Ooh, you can cut it with a knife in here. Turned over. Wilhite back up ice. He's got Rudrud with him. It's a 2-on-2 at the line. Wilhite, with not much of an angle, sends a shot in on goal. That's going to be handled by Donahue, and that would have been played with a high stick either way, but let's take a look at this one on replay.
Yeah, it all came down to the save by Bullis, and then it was Eden Prairie that came down, and it was Wilhite that gained the zone and kind of slowed his stride to get some support going and took that particular shot.
There's the puck batted down, then he went ahead and covered it up.
Yep. Face off now to Donahue's left. 3:25 left in this overtime.
Clean win. John Middlestad's shot hit a man on the way in. Argetsinger there had to work around the linesman. Quick shot, ramps up, and out of play.
Well, part of the game. He's looking at.
Argetsinger looks at him like, "Are you serious, man?"
Yeah, but
I mean, it's hard enough to work around these guys out here. Now I got to work around you.
But he did, and it really bought the Cadets a little time. So they're actually able to come out and challenge Argetsinger on that shot. It might have been a little cleaner had the ref not got in the way. Part of the game.
John Middlestead with Bodette. Cadets out of the zone with Vega. 3:05 to go in the period. Argetsinger, behind Vega, picks that off, runs into a stiff check there. That one by Jensen. Here they come.
31.
3-on-1 across the line. Now it's going to be Argetsinger. They touch it. Oh, what a save. What a setup there. Oh, my word. That was textbook, and Donahue gets the stick out, makes the save on the feed from Holt. Now it's going to be the Cadets back again the other way. Argetsinger in a foot race now with Vega. Vega to the corner. A shot and a save. Bullis didn't give up any ground there. That one sails up and out of play. What an overtime period. This is something.
Well, and then Wingus from the top of the left dot had the puck. It was rolling a little bit, and he put some pretty good wood on it, but he had the pitching wedge as opposed to the 5-iron, and it went up and out of play. Faceoff's going to come outside the zone, but boy, I'm sure Wingus wish he had a puck that was settled down because they aren't going to get too many looks like that. But nice job by Donahue, the goaltender, to stop that centering pass. Otherwise, we might be filing to the exits by now. So he picked up his team when he had to.
Luke Middlestead, rink wide. Langfell's with it. Look to Wilhite, but that passing lane was snuffed out. Up and out of play it goes with 2:25 showing. on the clock here in the overtime period.
Well, one thing I like about Eden Prairie's defense is they're not afraid to bring the puck up to the red line if they have that opening, and it was just a situation where Langfels wanted to dump it in deep and get after it, but it just ramped up and out of play. Faceoff's going to be at center ice. It's always unusual to see a faceoff at center ice and it doesn't precede or follow a goal or a start of a period.
Cadets now with it. Henry sends it in. 2:17 to go in overtime. This is getting into the stages where you'd hate to see someone have to lose this one. It's been that good of a game. Langfels, outlets for Will Height. They have 4-on-2. Look at this. Numbers again. It's like punting on first down. Just gave it right back to him.
Well, it was a nice job of pacing by Wingus. He didn't give him too much space and really kind of, it could have been potentially a 4-on-2, but Wingus had nice spacing on that one and really forced him to make a play a little earlier than he wanted to. But Donahue holds the puck. 2:03 left in this overtime faceoff now to his left.
Well, he got that stick out there to deflect that would-be pass as well.
Big play.
Holt wins the draw. Middlestead shot deflected. To the corner it goes. McFadden. Ooh, down goes Wingus. Puck is left. Ooh, it was Jensen who nearly came away with that. Hallam was there. To the right wing side it goes. Holt's going to regroup into the neutral zone. Luke Middlestead. Langfels. Ooh, takes off. Snapper up off the netting.
Well, I've been impressed with the stick work by the Cadets on defense. They've been a lot of busy sticks, interrupting passes and getting the sticks in front of the pucks and ramping them up out of play. So very sound defensive play by the Cadets in their own zone in the waning moments of this overtime period. But Eden Prairie has possession. They just haven't found the riddle to get the puck to Donahue in a good fashion. But Cadets are defending quite well.
Rudrud will take this face off with Luke Herzog. A couple of seniors. Rudrud follows it up to the corner. Smith was there. Vega now comes away with it. Up and out of play it goes. Paul Ranheim with the mitts makes the catch.
I'm very calm, cool, and collected on that one. It's protecting coach Lee Smith.
Well, the Hockey News called Paul Coffey the best veteran skater in the NHL in 1992, and Paul Ranheim the best young skater because they couldn't choose who was better. How about that?
Well, he was quite a player. No question about that.
Fast twitch muscles, second to none. Back into the zone it goes with Luke Middlestead. Now it's going to be Smith with it. Off a stick, nearly a fortuitous bounce, but instead it's the Cadets who recover neatly. 1:10 to go in overtime. O'Neill through traffic. Nice job, Langfels, to keep the stick away from Herzog to deflect Langfels' body position. Puck rolls as it's checked. Now it's Will Height, and he'll find an opening and send it in. Eagles will change. They go wholesale. Left wing on the breakout for Herzog. And up ice they go with it for Shimmick. Now it's going to be O'Neill. Wrist shot. Oh! That hit the handle of the stick enough to be turned aside. But John Middlestead can fly. Here he is across the line. Washed in the corner. Jammed by Wingus with 30 to go. Langfell, or check that was Argetsinger. Holt now. Oh, he finds Jensen, shoots. Oh, and that one was blocked by Henry. Well, that's the right guy you want to shoot that puck at that time. Quickly ahead to Holt. Tried to find Jensen in the neutral. Oh, Christie gets away from one to the right wing side. They try to find this one through. They step into that one. Bounding puck. Oh, it's still loose. Poked away. At the line, Wingus plays over 3 seconds. Snapper blocked. One more try. Wingus backhand, and that one just wide of the mark. I'll tell you what. This is as good as it gets. Everybody on their feet clapping about this one. It was that good of a hockey game between these two teams.
Well, indeed it was. And for teams that aren't actually territorial rivals, there was a lot of emotion and intensity in this game as we saw it amp up and come to a crescendo in the third period. But, a tie game in this, I think both teams have to feel pretty good about the way they went about their business tonight. Each team had their offensive opportunities. Both goaltenders turned in a strong performance, and we saw some offensive skill too. But just a contest that you root for. This early in the year to have this kind of pace is very impressive by both squads.
Thank you to our many sponsors that made this possible tonight. Green Mill Pizza in Eden Prairie off Commonwealth Tradition Companies. That's traditionco.com. Shirts Unlimited, that's with a Z. Check them out. Tavern 4 and 5 off 4 and 5 here in Eden Prairie. Walzer Toyota in Bloomington. You don't know where it is? It's right next to Sensors. That's what everybody knows. And then also don't forget about Tria, the team physicians for the Minnesota Wild. The final score is the Eden Prairie Eagles 2 and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets 2. This was a great hockey game. We'll shut this down. If you're just joining us right now, you should go back and watch this one. It's a beauty right here on YouTube and the mnhockey.tv. Give us a follow as well at mnhockeytv. We'll be on the air Thursday night from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. It's going to be the Skippers and the Orioles getting it going at 7 o'clock. That'll do it. For Bart Archer and Todd Grover, I'm Pete Wagner from the Eden Prairie Rec Center. Good night, everybody.